Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Fox. We are Wisconsin.
Out of every winter comes spring. That familiar warmth reminding us baseball is back. It is a fresh start. Hope renewed. Another chance. It is a new season with infinite possibilities. The wait is over. Spring has sprung.
From the Arizona desert, a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Cactus League baseball today on Fox Sports Wisconsin. This afternoon from Maryville Baseball Park, we've got the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Colorado Rockies. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Maryville. Great to have you with us alongside my partner, Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. We're looking forward to this matchup today. It's the third of our 3 consecutive days on television. We're getting to know this team quite a bit. But there is a guy in the lineup today that everybody is excited to see, and that is Orlando Arcia. He's batting 9th and playing shortstop today.
There's a lot of pressure on this kid. This is his first big league spring training. But with all the things that were said about him with his season last year in AA, you can see the accolades. I mean, you can read them for yourself. But what we've seen from him, a very poised young man for his age. He can hit, he can swing the bat, and certainly the Brewers are counting on him down the road. Never know when it's going to be when you see him. But, hey, throw him into the fire, see what he can do. And Orlando Arcia is certainly a guy that everybody is saying is a can't miss.
Right, and he's a guy that the little we've seen of him, he makes plays that very few make in professional baseball, and hopefully he'll be a major leaguer real soon. We'll see how his progress goes. It's going to be fun to watch. Taylor Youngman is on the mound today for the Brew Crew. He'll be matching up against the Rockies. He slots in as the number 4 starter. Brewers trying to get back to winning ways in the Cactus League. We got the lineups and the first pitch coming up next. Today's first pitch, the Brewers and the Colorado Rockies, spring training baseball, Fox Sports Wisconsin. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder and our producer and director, Marty Tarr. You see the manager of the Rockies, Walt Weiss, exchanging the lineup cards with Brewers coach Carlos Subero and the 4-man umpiring crew in place. Here is the batting order for the Rockies today. A familiar name at the top. Gerardo Parra will lead off for Colorado. DJ LeMahieu, then Carlos Gonzalez. Middle of the order for Weiss is Nolan Arenado, Ben Paulson, and Trevor Story. And the bottom 3, Michael Tauchman, Tom Murphy, and Brandon Barnes. The designated hitter is still in play as we hit the 12th of March. These 2 National League managers agreeing to go with the DH. And you see the Brewers hit the field. Behind their big right-hander, the 6'6" Texan, Taylor Youngman.
Yeah, good season for him a year ago. He actually started out 9-5, had a rough month of September, an 0-3 month of September. 21 starts overall, a 10-9 record, a 377 earned run average for the big tall right-hander. Second appearance this spring. Yeah, last pitched on the 7th against the Padres. An inning and a third, give up a couple of hits and a run.
35 pitches in that outing for Youngman. They'll try to push him near 50 today. And let's see if he can get 3, maybe 4 innings in. We'll see. The crossfire right-hander, Taylor Youngman. And how about the defense behind Youngman? It's courtesy of Badger Mutual Insurance. What do we have out there today?
Yep, you got EY, Eric Young Jr. out in left field, Alex Presley in center, Domingo Santana, who had a big day at the plate in yesterday's game. Middlebrooks, Arcia, Walsh, and Carter. Very much looking forward to watching Arcia out there at shortstop. He is a good one. And Jonathan Lucroy making his 4th start behind home plate.
Arcia will be making his 3rd start this spring. He is slated for Triple-A this year, and there's no real wiggle room on that. Talking to David Stearns, the Brewers general manager, who will join us today in the 2nd inning. And talking to Craig Counsell, really no thought that he would start the year in the major leagues, but what a talent he is. One of the great prospects in all of Major League Baseball. So the stage is all set. The 4-man umpiring crew is in place. Jim Reynolds will call the balls and strikes. And the 3 base umpires, Mark Ripperger, Ryan Blackney, and Sean Barber.
Notice Eric Young Sr. is coaching first base today for Colorado. So he's going to be able to see his kid play today here at Maryvale.
It's very cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was in Brewers camp, Eric Young, 14 years ago. And now his son, who is now age 30, is trying to make this ball club for the Brewers, playing left field. And when Eric Young Jr. looks at his father, he looks at what he'll probably look like in a few years. And there's EY Jr. It's got to be a thrill for those two to cross paths once again. It's happened quite regularly in their careers. All right, here we go. Spring training baseball today. Glad to have you with us. Gerardo Parra will lead off for Colorado. Youngman's first pitch is inside, and away we go. It's just a gorgeous day for baseball. Cooled off a little bit. 66 degrees, which is only 11 degrees warmer than it is in Milwaukee right now. There's a little hint of cool weather. It has been extremely hot early in the spring training calendar. Temperatures have been soaring into the 90s. So I think the players have a little skip in their step with some cooler temperatures today. They'll be begging for these kind of temperatures when we get to April.
Yep. I mean, still no sleeves on most of the players today, and a little cool in the shade. We got the jackets on today.
Taylor Youngman in a 3-0 count, and he misses badly, and a 4-pitch walk to start the game for Taylor Youngman against our old friend Gerardo Parra. Great day to get some sunshine. Blankets are spread out on the berms above the outfield wall. It's probably my favorite place to watch a game here at Maryvale. That slanted wall that gives you a great sidelines. And you never know, a little home run ball may end up in your lap.
A little melee out there trying to grab it. That is a lot of fun out there on the hill. A lot of the stadiums have it.
That's where you find Rock and I when we're not televising games. Typically we're out there, so come see us next time.
I'm usually sprawled out over there in left field by that Lining Cool's beer chalet.
Okay.
They don't have to walk too far.
DJ LeMahieu hitting second for Colorado.
Got to stay hydrated here.
No doubt. No doubt. Nice little plug for you early in the broadcast. As Youngman hits the strike zone, quickly 0-2. So expectations of Taylor Youngman this year, what do you think they are?
Just continue to build off of what he did last year. I think he ran out of gas in the month of September. That happens a lot to young pitchers. You know, in the minor leagues, you never have to deal with that September, those extra 4 or 5 starts, and I think it got to him a little bit last year, and that's what you're hoping to find, that consistency. Yeah, more consistent with the off-speed stuff. He was working a lot his last time out, or I should say his first time out, on a changeup. He threw a lot of them.
Youngman has a good fastball. It's not the overpowering fastball velocity wise. It hovers in the 91, 92 range, but it is so deceptive. And there's one there, and a called strike 3. LeMahieu is gone, and Youngman with his first K of the game.
Yeah, the fastball for Youngman has the natural cut given his delivery, and he's got that cutter. He's also been working on a sinker. He threw a few of those last year, and he's got the curveball to go with it, and now trying to tinker around with a changeup.
That important third pitch. That's the pitch. If you can command it, that takes you from just an okay starter, you know, maybe back into the rotation starter, to potentially a top of the rotation starter.
Turned Jimmy Nelson's season around last year.
Carlos Gonzalez at the plate, a perennial MVP candidate when he is healthy. For so many years, the Tulowitzki-Cargo combination, that is no longer the case in Denver this year. Seems strange not to look down at the Rockies and not see Troy Tulowitzki, who is now a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. He was traded there last year, part of their great playoff run. And that great tandem broken up.
You see the numbers for Carlos Gonzalez. 40 home runs. He's always going to be up around the 35-40 range, playing at Coors Field. But he's something else. He can hit. It's not just Coors Field for him. He uses left field extremely well.
Boy, remember that opening series last year in Milwaukee. The Rockies, they destroyed Brewer pitching, and Carlos Gonzalez was a big part of that. He and Arenado. Youngman looking for that ground ball, gets it, and with the shift on, Cargo too fast and beats it down the line. That's Middlebrooks over there playing on the right side. So the putout goes 5-6. A little bit of an unusual putout.
And that's the the way Craig Counsell, he's going to play it. He's going to shift around his third baseman, put him out of position, and pretty much leave everybody else in position, particularly his shortstop, but not able to turn the double play.
Tell you, Arcia, even though he didn't get the out, you see the skills right away. Arcia, so quick, in and out of the glove in a flash, and that very strong throwing arm.
Yeah, very soft hands, good release on his throws over to first base, very accurate arm.
So 2 men are out. Here's Nolan Arenado, now the owner of 3 Gold Gloves, and Youngman drills him. Arenado hit by a pitch.
Yeah, that one not even close. That Arenado never had a chance to get out of the way of that pitch. Check it out. No chance.
He might have been better served stepping forward. Almost threw it behind him. Instincts don't let you do that, though, do they?
No. That ball coming at you like that, you just hope it doesn't hurt too bad. You know it's going to get you somewhere.
And so Youngman with a walk and a hit batter. 2 on, 2 away. Top of the first, we're just underway on a beautiful spring day in Phoenix.
Go.
Well, I guess at least if you're Taylor Youngman, you didn't waste many pitches with that result. Hit him on the first one.
It's better than a walk, right? He saved 3 pitches.
Better for everybody but Nolan Arenado.
Right, yeah.
Ben Paulson now, Rockies first baseman. The Rockies have Mark Reynolds in camp with them, and they're talking about a platoon at first base with the former Brewer, Mark Reynolds, who was in St. Louis last year. Reynolds and Ben Paulson, a right-left combo at first. Gives them plenty of power at that position.
Yeah, Reynolds does a pretty good job over at first base. He did a nice job for the Cardinals last year when Matt Adams was hurt.
Quickly 0-2 on Paulson. Youngman trying to work through this first inning. There's been some traffic, but he's only thrown 12 pitches. Brewers are trying to break a losing streak. They dropped 5 in a row in the Cactus League after winning the first 4. And a wave and a miss. Lucroy has to secure it at first. He does so. And Youngman, some command issues, but he gets a couple of strikeouts. Puts up a 0 in the first. Now the Brewers coming up. Greg Counsell, first full spring training as the Brewers skipper. He took over last year. He's got his pitching coach to his left, Eric Johnson, Jason Lane to his right, and his bench coach, Pat Murphy. And here's Counsell's batting order today. Colin Walsh will lead off, Eric Young Jr., and then Jonathan Lucroy. In the middle, it's Santana, Carter, and Peterson, with Will Middlebrooks, Alex Presley, and Orlando Arcia, the Potawatomi Milwaukee batting order. And it will not be Tyler Anderson today for the Rockies. He is a late scratch, so John Gray gets the call. And all of the hours of research on Tyler Anderson you did, Rock, is out the drain.
You know, I had to leave the sponsor picnic out there early just to get my work in on Anderson, and this is what they do to me. He split time between Albuquerque, that was AAA, and the Rockies. 9 starts for the Rockies last year. I know, in 2 record and a .553 earned run average. He's a hard thrower. He was signed in 2013, so he got to the major leagues quickly.
Now, do you save all of your Tyler Anderson information, or do we just start over next time we see him?
Start over, yep.
Okay. I apologize for that.
It's all going to be moot at that point because it's going to be a completely different guy when we see him next.
By the way, if you're a Rockies fan, you're wondering, Tyler Anderson scratched with an oblique injury, and we hope that's not something that's going to set him back. He is one of their top young prospects and a guy that they have high expectations for this season.
Injuries have been a problem for him. He missed all last year with injury, a stress fracture in his elbow. Left-hander, hard thrower. But another hard thrower for the Rockies here, the right-hander Gray.
Colin Walsh leading off for Milwaukee, a switch-hitting second baseman.
So thank you for allowing me to get a little bit of information
Sure.
on Anderson. I mean, it wasn't completely wasted.
The professional analyst you are, you delivered when we needed you the most, partner, as usual. You can take the rest of the day off.
Okay.
Little flare, foul territory. The Gold Glover Arenado, that's easy for him. Even with the tough Phoenix sky up above, Arenado puts it away. And let's check the rest of the Rockies defensively.
They got a number of the starters over here in Maryvale today. You got Gerardo Parra in left. You got Barnes Gonzalez in the outfield. Arenado, maybe the best in the business. Story, LeMahieu, also very good defensively over at second base. Paulson at first. And you've got Murphy hanging his signs today for Gray.
A Badger Mutual Insurance Rockies defense. Here's Eric Young Jr. Jr. in a battle for that center field position or the other outfield position. Today he's playing left field. And a shot to center field, going to fall, a base hit. Eric Young Jr. playing in front of his dad today, who's in the other dugout, delivers with a single.
Yeah, veteran maybe coming off that bench, getting some starts, and always good to have a switch hitter at your disposal late in the game, and he can fly, he can run.
That's already the 6th hit for Eric Young Jr. He is now 6 for 15 at the plate.
Got a nice short stroke. He's not going to hit you many home runs, but his job is to get on base and steal. Let's see if he takes off here today.
He's got a good guy hitting behind him for that. Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy making his 4th start behind the plate of the spring today. He's been in there quite a bit as the designated hitter. So he's getting his regular at-bats. They're just trying to take it easy on him with the catching duties. But I would imagine as we start to move into week 3 and 4, he'll start catching quite a bit. He and Maldonado have shared the duties thus far.
Yeah, Lucroy likes to get a lot of at-bats in spring. He says it doesn't come all that natural for him. He needs more at-bats than some guys do. Talk to Ryan Braun. He needs only about 25 at-bats to get ready for the season. Lucroy feels as though he needs a lot more than that.
What's the latest on Braun? What are we hearing? Still thinking of maybe 3rd week?
Maybe next week sometime. Everything's good with Braun. He's healthy. He feels good. He's partaking in all the activities before the games, and they're just not rushing him with that back surgery in the offseason.
Lucroy takes a ball low, puts the count in his favor, 2-0.
Still waiting on Scooter Gennett to get a start. That sore shoulder.
Gennett had an MRI done earlier in the week. Then the MRI came back clean, came back negative, so no cause for concern there. Had a little tendonitis basically, and so he's back swinging the bat again, going through his normal drills, and I'm sure he'll be in a game next week as well if he keeps progressing. There's a strike on the edge. Good fastball from John Gray.
Yeah, nice easy delivery. It just kind of jumps out of his hand. It's kind of an effortless delivery, but he gets it up there near 100 miles an hour at times.
I think the unfortunate casualty of spring training is Brett Phillips, who has an oblique injury, and it's going to be very difficult to get him back in time to appear in a spring training game here on the big league field. Minor leaguers are all rolling in, nearly 200 of them, and with staff included, and the minor league part of spring training will be underway. And then you start to get the teams developed there, the AAA team, AA, single A's. And it'll be important for Brett Phillips to get with his team and try to get ready for opening day. EY takes off. Lucroy fouls it away. 2-2 now.
And with what we've seen here in spring, AAA is going to have a pretty good club. He's 6'4", 235 pounds, and that long stride doesn't look like he's expending too much energy. Just has that good life on his fastball, that natural delivery.
Easy cheese, they call it. He was scheduled to pitch today anyway, so this is no real adjustment for him. John Gray was scheduled to pitch second. Didn't think he'd probably get in till about the maybe 4th or 5th inning. But apparently he had plenty of time to get ready. There was no delay whatsoever after the Rockies scratched their starting pitcher, Tyler Anderson, a former first-round pick. And Gray is a former first-round pick. Two and two to Lucroy. There goes EY. Lucroy pops it up. EY's got to return quickly. And Cargo makes a catch for out number 2.
Did you check out those Rockies hats? I'm a big fan of those. The Rocky Mountains with, it looks like a baseball in the corner. It's a good looking hat.
I think across the board the spring training style has been upgraded this year.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of an alternate logo. I like that.
Yeah,
and it has a lot of applications as well.
Regular season was CR, right? In the hat.
The
right?
CR. Domingo Santana. You've been very astute with your uniform watch this year.
I like it. I like the way
impressive.
they're mixing it up. I mean, fans have been real excited to get their hands on the Brewers hat this year with the Arizona logo on it.
That ball's deep into center field. Santana, And is it caught? No, it's in and out of the glove of Barnes. All the way around to score is Young. And Santana with an RBI double. This guy is red hot at the plate.
And what you like about the way he's going about it, he's not trying to pull everything. He's fitting everything into center field. His home run came to center field yesterday. And Gray with a fastball down the middle. There was something on it, but Domingo Santana can turn on a fastball. And pretty close out there in center field. Barnes didn't miss it by much, but EY able to come around to score.
Would have been a heck of a play. Instead, it goes as an RBI double. And Santana, who hit a leadoff home run yesterday, batting leadoff in the cleanup spot today, and he delivers the game's first run. Exciting young player, Domingo Santana. Saw flashes of it last year in the big leagues. Here's Chris Carter, another former Astro with the Brewers. This was the home run yesterday by Santana. Notice the similarity in the swing. It's that short, compact, powerful stroke he has.
Real good balance at the point of contact. It wasn't out in front or, leaning back and trying to uppercut. That was a 2-strike curveball that he knocked out of the ballpark yesterday.
There aren't many guys that can generate that much pop without a leg kick or a big stride. He just kind of picks it up and puts it down. And
there's another guy that can do it.
Chris Carter's got as much power as anybody in the big leagues. Well, we're hoping to catch up with Chris Carter today. Talked to him before the game. He agreed to put a headset on in the dugout for us after his day is done here. I'm looking forward to getting to know Chris Carter. Be along about the 5th or 6th inning.
Somewhat of a gentle giant, isn't he?
He is.
Very soft-spoken.
He's one of the few guys you look up to.
Yeah, that's right. Well, physically anyway.
He is 6'4", on the plus side of 6'4", 250. You got the 250 covered. But
plus,
you're, what are you, about 6'3"?
Plus, 250 plus. I'm still trying to shed the winter layer.
The winter coat.
The
There's
Miller,
been no changes from yesterday.
The Miller Coors dinner at Mastro's last night did nothing to help in that regard. Nor did the picnic out there today. So I'll start tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I had a great time today. The sponsor picnic out at Maryville Baseball Park. They do it out behind the clubhouse. All the players come out. It's really a great time. Carter chance to drive and a run. And a swing and a pop-up. High fly ball way up there. Gonzalez settles under it, and that'll do it for the Brewers in the first, but a good start. Youngman works a scoreless top of the first, and Domingo Santana with a 2-out RBI double puts the Crew on the board. Hey, soaking up the Rays in Phoenix, Arizona. Man, doesn't get any better than this. 1-0 Brew Crew. Domingo Santana with an RBI double in the bottom of the first. And a good start for the Crew today. Taylor Youngman is back on the mound ready to work. Youngman In his first inning, he hit a batter and he walked a batter, but was pretty efficient. He walked the batter on 4 pitches, hit a batter on the first pitch. So Youngman, with a couple of strikeouts, had 2 men on, only threw 13 pitches in that first inning. Brewers have high expectations. A former first-round draft pick back in 2011. Youngman, out of the University of Texas, was the 12th pick overall in 2011.
He was able to post the only complete game by a Brewers starter last year. That came in L.A. Outstanding effort. Got off to an incredible start. One of the best starts for any starting pitcher in Brewers history.
Trevor Story leads the way for Colorado.
Racking up the wins. He'd like to control his pitch count a little bit more, be more consistent in the strike zone, maybe get some outs early and count so he can last a little bit longer.
1-2 pitch is upstairs. It's hard to understand why his numbers in the minor leagues didn't match his numbers in the big leagues. Usually it's the other way around. Good minor league numbers, bad major league numbers when you first come up. Taylor Youngman was just the opposite.
Yeah, there's some guys that are like that. Then there's some guys that just dominate the minor leagues, come up to the major leagues, just can't do it. They can't figure it out. The Brewers have had a number of players that have had that issue, but Youngman just the opposite. We tried to figure that out all season long last year with Taylor, why he was so much better at the major league level. Maybe the defense, who knows, but
well, one piece of analysis that I like and I agree with a great deal is he was one of the premier college pitchers. He won the National Player of the Year. It's called the Hauser Award while pitching for the University of Texas. That is a big program. There's always a lot of publicity, a lot of hoopla with that program. So this is a guy that's used to the spotlight.
Right.
And it's not necessarily that kind of spotlight in the minor leagues. And he certainly thrived in the big leagues. A little lazy fly ball. Trevor Story is out. So Youngman is retired. And Story the first out. And that'll bring up Michael Tauchman. Got a great crowd today at Maryvale. Be pushing one of the better crowds of the spring. They're still filing in. 51st and Indian School, if you're in the area, just pop on by.
Yeah. Not a bad ride. It's easy to get around this valley in the weekend. Did you check out the traffic leaving the ballpark yesterday? Oh, that's right. The chopper picks you up. Yeah, the
Yasiel Puig sends it over, and we ride together back to Scottsdale.
Dropped you off at the Biltmore Estates. Yeah, I get
that's right. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know you weren't part of that. Ground ball to short. And Arcia makes the play. Tauchman is retired. Youngman has retired the first 2 here in the second inning. Oh, it can be a bit of a bear driving. We always advise a buddy, a travel buddy, because then you can use the carpool lane.
Yeah, I didn't have that buddy yesterday. The carpool lane was just flying. And I'm in the lane just next to it by myself, just sitting there. So it's the way it goes sometimes.
I've been trying to get in with Rock's travel buddy situation here, but to use an old golf term, his threesome is full.
I didn't know you wanted to drive with us. A little bit out of my way, by the way, but hey.
Tom Murphy with 2 outs. Trying to make this team as the backup catcher for the Rockies. Some jobs available with Colorado, very similar to the Brewers situation. They figure to have a very good bullpen this year. They got a lot of arms. Always trying to find the right combo for starting pitching. Very difficult to pitch at Coors Field. There's a nice curveball.
Nice hook. He's really working on that curveball and changeup in his first couple of times out in spring training. There's a dandy. His best one he's thrown this spring. When the knees buckle and you're hitting, you're done pretty much. That was a good curve.
And the 1-2, did he go? He did. Lucroy will slap the tag on him, and that will retire the side. Impressive inning. Taylor Youngman 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. And up next, we'll visit with this guy, David Stearns, new Brewers general manager, 1-0 Crew.
Brew Crews who head to the bottom of the second inning, and new for 2016, Brewers season seat holders now enjoy exclusive rewards featuring one-of-a-kind experiences such as on-field batting practice, a trip down Bernie Slide autograph sessions, and more. Go to Brewers.com/ticket plans for details.
And we're pleased to be joined in the booth, Brewers' new general manager David Stearns with us, and our first chance to catch up with you. It's been a great camp. I mean, I think the enthusiasm is what has jumped off the page for us as we've gone through the workouts in the clubhouse. How about for you? What are you seeing so far?
It's been outstanding so far, and really from my perspective in camp, what you want to accomplish is you want to get guys ready, you want guys to stay healthy, and you want to have a positive, upbeat culture, and so far we're on our way to accomplishing all three, and Craig and his staff has done really an outstanding job from the moment we all got here to Maryvale to build the type of culture that we want to carry this organization forward, and it's been a lot of fun to be a part of.
Now, this is your first spring training as a general manager. Of course, you spent a number of years with other teams, and most recently the Houston Astros as the assistant GM. So all the things you thought about during spring training as an assistant GM, as maybe you're projecting yourself towards your days as a general manager, what's real, what has changed, and what's the perspective now that you're in the hot seat?
I think when you get into this chair, you become acutely aware of how big this department is.
Shane Peterson into left field, tough sun, and it's in and out of the glove of Parra, and if he can't catch it, nobody can. Shane Peterson will reach all the way to second base. He goes. That high sky, Rock. It's tough out there.
Yeah, not too many clouds up there in the sky, and it's always an adventure. And you hit a pop-up down here in Arizona, I mean, you better bust it out of the box, because that happens quite frequently here.
Yep.
Especially with a guy, you're talking about a Gold Glove outfielder, David, that makes that mistake.
So that'll be a double for Shane Peterson. You're welcome, Shane. Anyway, get back to your point. So how big it is.
You recognize how many people there are in baseball operations, how many people are working so hard to ultimately put this product on the field on a daily basis and win games at the major league level. We have coaches all the way down from the Dominican Summer League and scouts scouring the world to try to find Major League Baseball players, and it's all for the purpose of finding the right 25 guys to play in Milwaukee on opening day. And it's energizing and it's inspiring to be around all these guys who are working so hard to make this happen.
It's got to feel good finally to get out here and watch baseball, watch the guys that you put together. You're sitting around all winter long, you're putting together your club, and now finally you kind of sit over there, not relaxing, but getting a sense of what you actually have out there.
Absolutely. This is why we all do it, right? This is why we put in the long hours in the off season, and we're there late at night. It's to get to this point where we're actually watching baseball on the field, and it's exciting regardless of what year it is or where you are to come to spring training for me, first-time general manager being here, it just adds to that. So it's been a great spring so far. Looking forward to wrapping it up over the next 2.5, 3 weeks, and again back to Milwaukee and doing it for real.
You know, the question you probably hear quite a bit, your relationship with Craig Counsell. I mean, it didn't happen overnight. I guess you guys have a pretty good rapport. You're both on the same page. How long did it take you guys to really focus in on the same goal?
Hold that thought, David. Will Middlebrooks to second base, drives in Shane Peterson. And it's 2-0 Milwaukee as Middlebrooks trying to impress. Does so in front of his boss on television here.
A pretty good swing right there. Nice to see him driving authoritatively into the gap. But, you know, Craig has such a stellar reputation around the game for all that he's done both on the field and off. And so I came into this position really with the predisposition that we were going to get along. We were going to have a good relationship, and I haven't been disappointed at all. He's a really special manager, special guy to work with, and he's got a tremendous ability to get respect from a variety of different people. You walk through that clubhouse, and our players respect him, our coaches respect him. We have a great rapport. So, you know, these relationships always take time to build. The relationship between a GM and a manager is incredibly important, and so looking forward to continuing to work with him and work with him through this first season of ours.
You know, I would imagine the fact that he's not that far removed from his playing days, that he has a unique ability. Fly ball to center field, that's going to be caught. But to relate to the young players on this ball club right now, how important is that?
I think it's important, and that goes for our entire staff. We have a really great skill set spread among our staff when you're talking about veteran coaches like an Eddie Cedar and a Lee Tunnell, a relatively young manager in Craig Counsell, and a guy like Jason Lane who just came off the field. That's a pretty unique set of skills to have in one dugout. And we've also got, obviously, Pat Murphy as our bench coach and Derek Johnson, our pitching coach, two guys who were college coaches for a long time and very successful college coaches. So we've put together a group that we think is going to help continue to develop players at the major league level, a group of really strong communicators, and it's gelled well so far.
Here's Orlando Arcia, and good timing here with you in the booth with us, because by all accounts, this is the #1 prospect in the Brewers system, and he is among the top prospects in all of baseball for position players. What do you know about Arcia? What have you seen this spring from him?
He's a special talent. That's what I was told coming in, and he hasn't disappointed. He carries himself the way that really talented players do. He's got a tremendous amount of confidence on the field, and his actions and performance backs it up. And so he is a special player. He's going to begin the season in Colorado Springs, continue his development, hopefully finish his development, and then we'll get him to Milwaukee at some point. But really, we're excited for when he does show up, whenever that may be.
He has a lot of pressure on him, I would imagine. Most top prospects do. I think about Chris Bryant with the Cubs last year, and a very similar kind of chatter. How do you guys handle that? What kind of player, what kind of personality is he to deal with that kind of pressure and expectation? And then from a front office perspective, what's your philosophy on that, and how much you allow him to get into where his spot will be this season?
Well, I think Orlando believes that he's been the best player on the field probably since he was 15 years old. So he recognizes that pressure. He handles it very well. He has enough self-confidence that he believes he can live up to it, and that's important. These guys need to believe in themselves. We know he's going to reach a level of adversity when he gets to the big leagues, or perhaps in Colorado Springs. Everyone does at some point during their career. But we do believe he has the makeup to get through it and continue his development.
Doesn't seem like it's just Arcia with that kind of mentality. I mean, they feel like that. I mean, they're very confident, but in talking to guys like Braun and Lucroy, they're very respectful of their position, and they respect the veterans.
Absolutely, and that's an important mix to have, and that's. You know, we've got a really solid group of veterans. You mentioned two of them. Aaron Hill has come in and done a great job helping to lead that clubhouse, and they've taken a lot of these young guys under their wings. They've helped show them the way in a lot of their first big league camps, and that's important, and it will ultimately aid in our development as an organization.
Visiting with David Stearns, Brewers general manager, with Orlando Arcia at the plate, and he's worked it into a full count. He is a free swinger. We haven't had a whole lot of time to talk about him because he's usually in and out of the at-bat in the first pitch.
First, second pitch, yeah.
But he's got a good deep count going here. Infield in, runner at third. The Brewers lead 2-0. And Gray deals, and a wave and a miss. Arcia strikes out for the second out of the inning. Well, David, I asked you this the other day, but it is interesting to hear the chatter around baseball because you are an Ivy Leaguer. You did go to Harvard. You're a young guy. So I think the easy narrative is that the Brewers are going to become an analytics-driven organization, but having spoken to you and your assistant general manager Matt Arnold, that's not necessarily the case, and I'd like for you to maybe clear the record on that a little bit. What kind of organization is this going to be?
Sure. Our expectation is this is and will continue to be an organization that values all the information we can possibly get. I hope we grow to gain the reputation of it as an organization that values information in its entirety, and that's how we're going to make the best decisions, is to get the best player evaluations we possibly can from subjective methods, to get the best objective information from statistical performance, and put those together, weigh them appropriately, and ultimately make the best decisions we can. And if you look around baseball at the top organizations right now, that's how they're doing it, and we certainly believe we can do that as well.
How close is the process that you and the organization is going through here in Milwaukee to what Houston has done recently?
I think each situation is a little bit different. There is a unique situation depending on market size, depending on talent within the organization, both minor league and major league. So the Houston situation, the Chicago situation, those had its own set of constraints and advantages, and certainly we do as well. So I don't know that we're necessarily going to follow an exact blueprint of another club. We're going to make our own way, make our own path, and ultimately, hopefully we have a level of success that a couple years from now other teams will look and say, boy, we'd love to do what the Brewers have done.
But when you look at what the Cubs and the Astros didn't take them very long.
No, they did both those organizations have done outstanding jobs of cultivating really impact level young minor league players who rose quickly through the system and now obviously have impacted the major league level. So both those organizations are set up likely to have success for a long time to come.
Colin Walsh at the plate for the Brewers with 2 away, still a runner at third. That's Middlebrooks, who drove in a run with a double. And Gray misses inside. We're visiting with David Stearns, Brewers general manager, and now first and third for the crew. So aside from wins and losses, and winning takes care of a lot, but what kind of organization do you have a vision for the Milwaukee Brewers? What do you want people to say about this organization as you start to settle in with your staff and becomes the David Stearns organization?
Ultimately, we want to employ the best practices we can in every aspect of our organization, whether that's major league talent acquisition, player development, major league scouting, international scouting, amateur scouting. We want to continually learn, continually get better, and become an elite organization. And we believe we have the ability to do that. It's going to take us some time. We have a lot of good people working really hard throughout this organization on the baseball side and on the business side. And if we direct all of our talents in the right way, we think we're going to have a lot of success.
Tell us a little bit about your right-hand man, your assistant general manager, Matt Arnold. He comes from the Tampa Bay Rays, very highly respected man in baseball, player development and scouting. There's Matt right there. What does he bring to the table, and what was the process getting him to Milwaukee from Tampa?
Matt's an incredibly impressive guy. I've known him for a little while now in the industry. He had a great deal of success working with the group in Tampa. He brings a great deal of experience in a variety of different aspects. He came up as a scout, spent a lot of times on backfields and in small ballparks all over the country, has worked for a couple different organizations, and was very influential in molding some of the processes that now exist in the Tampa Bay Rays organization. So we're thrilled to have him. He went through an exhaustive interview process to get the job. Performed really well, and he's been an enormous partner, enormous asset for us over the last 5 or 6 months.
Much different than your process. That was pretty easy. You just kind of came in and got the job. What did it take, about 3 days as Eric Young flies out? We're glad to have you. This has been a lot of fun getting to know you, and we wish you the best of luck. And how about a hard candy for your effort today?
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, David.
Thanks,
All right. Spring training baseball from the Cactus League. Plenty of sunshine for everybody today. And a reminder that Fox Sports Wisconsin is proud to partner with Girls on the Run, Greater Milwaukee. It's a group to empower girls to be healthy and confident, and you can join us for the Girls on the Run Spring 5K Sunday, June 5th at Bayshore Town Center in Glendale. To register, visit foxsportswisconsin.com. Click on the upcoming events tab. Great project that we stand behind 100%. Cecilia Gore, Katina Shaw, and our community relations department, they do a great job. Taylor Youngman back to work for the Brewers. And Youngman with 2 scoreless. He has 3 strikeouts thus far. He's retired 4 in a row. And Youngman working in his 3rd inning. Pitch count's outstanding. He's probably going to have about 50 to work with today or thereabouts. Youngman facing Brandon Barnes to start the inning. Good visit with David Stearns. You know, the guy, he's impressive. I mean, everything he says, he's calculated, but you feel like he's got a great handle on what is a massive job here in his first year as a big league general manager.
Yeah, Craig Counsell, his first spring training as a manager, and there's a lot of firsts going on. A lot of changes in the coaching staff, so they're putting their own mark on this Brewers organization. I think he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, I like. You asked him as soon as we went to the commercial break. You asked him, "Are you having any fun right now? Are you able to enjoy this at all?" His response was interesting.
Yeah, he said he is. He's having a good time. It was always, you never, getting a sense of the unknown, throughout the winter. You get in here in spring training, you don't know how it's going to look, how these guys are going to be, how things are going to play out. But right now they are enjoying it. But it's going to start ramping up a little bit, in a couple of weeks. Last week was spring training to put the puzzle together, as he mentioned. But it's good to see that he's able to, take it down a notch, enjoy what's going on out here, and not grinding all the time. And sometimes that takes time to understand. And he gets it right away.
Youngman with strikeout number 4. 1 away in the 3rd inning. Top of the order now, Gerardo Parra will bat. So what are the waves for a general manager and an assistant general manager? This is go time for the manager and the coaches. I mean, they're trying to, they're the busiest guys on the lot right now, aside from you and me, of course.
Yeah, we get here early, leave late.
Very difficult schedule.
Battle traffic.
But for a general manager and the front office staff, what are the waves of activity that they're going to experience?
Well, early on, off season, I mean, they're trying to put the ball club together. They traded 9 players on the big league roster to get 16 guys that could very well be, most of them probably going to be in the minor leagues. But I mean, their work, a lot of their work came before spring training started. Then they're in the process of evaluation. They watch the games, they hear what the coaches have to say. Then the last couple of weeks or last 10 days, they get very much involved in how this 25-man roster is going to look, who's going to go where. So this is kind of not, I wouldn't say downtime, but time for them to coast a little bit and rely on their coaches to do most of the work.
And you got a wave of players who might have certain outs in their contract, veteran guys like Morales, Blaine Boyer, but then there's the draft, and you start leading towards the draft in early June, and it's going to be a key draft. The Brewers have the number 5 pick this year, and Ray Montgomery, who heads up that operation, is already hard at work. Little slow roller off the bat of LeMahieu, and that's another tidy inning for Taylor Youngman. So that was a 7-pitch inning for Youngman, and he is through 3 scoreless.
I got a promo here, my friend.
My bad, Rock. That's our first spring training bogey of the year. Let's start it over. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
It was only your first mistake, certainly not mine. Bottom 3, 2-0 Brewers. They need a win today. Hey, new for 2016, the Brewers have announced 3 all-fan giveaways, or actually all-kid giveaways. And Jonathan Lucroy replica jersey, a paint your own Bernie Brewer bobblehead, Jonathan Lucroy chest protector backpack. To see Brewers complete 2016 promotional schedule, visit Brewers.com.
And as is usually the case when we mess up, we blame Marty Tarr, our producer and director, who deserves it. And speaking of, Jonathan Lucroy will lead off.
Yep, the Jonathan Lucroy chest protector backpack. We just talked about it.
I wasn't listening to that.
By the way, the promo read was a bit choppy because of the early interrupt.
The distraction. We'll get better. We got time. It's only the 12th of March. We got time to work on that. As a strike to Lucroy. John Gray starting his 3rd inning. He was a late add to the starting pitcher role today. He was scheduled to pitch, so not a big change for him. But the Rockies scratched their starter Tyler Anderson with an oblique injury. Lucroy jammed, and a ground ball to LeMahieu, 4 out, number 1. Well, Taylor Youngman's looking good today for the Brewers. Had some command problems in the 1st inning with a walk and a hit batter, but he's retired 7 straight, and he has 4 strikeouts thus far in his first 3 scoreless innings.
Yep, keeping the ball down, and that 7 consecutive outs. He's only allowed 1 fly ball out. Couple of strikeouts and 3 ground balls.
A strike to Santana. Domingo has been quite the story this spring. Homered yesterday, drove in 2, had an RBI double in his first at bat today. There's Taylor Youngman. Looks like he's going to be heading back out for a 4th inning.
There's a good slider. That Gray, big guy. He throws hard. Looks like basically a 2-pitch pitcher. That's what we've seen. I think he's throwing a couple of change-ups, but basically, fastball in the mid to upper 90s and a good slider.
Pitch. Domingo Santana is putting up softball statistics here in the Cactus League. He's now 9 for 15 at the plate and has 4 doubles and a home run. He's driven in 4 now in his 7 games played. Got a slugging percentage up over 1,000.
Needs to save some of that.
His OPS, Rock, his spring training OPS is about 1,700 right now.
That's not bad.
That's pretty sweet.
He's been nice and patient at the plate, not overswing. You can see he's much more under control, it seems like, this spring than he was last year. He takes some wild hacks last year, but he seems much more relaxed, staying on the baseball. It doesn't have to overswing to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
He's got some star power to him. I mean, you figure he's got a chance to be an elite player in this game. He came to the Brewers from the Astros, that trade last year in the Carlos Gomez-Mike Fiers deal. Santana and Chris Carter were teammates briefly last year with the Astros. Carter, one of the few free agent signees. There goes Santana. Carter lets him run. Throw to second. He is late. That was a weird catch and tag by LeMahieu. And Santana's able to steal the base.
I think the throw handcuffed him. Tom Murphy with a very strong throwing arm behind home plate, and LeMahieu wasn't ready for it, I guess. It got some carry on it. Watch the way he catches it, almost as if he's not ready for it. Handcuffs him a little bit. Kind of caught it off to the side, but too late with the tag.
Well, Santana steals it. Rockies are without Jose Reyes. That's the big news in their camp this year. And Reyes is now involved in a criminal investigation, domestic violence investigation. And there most certainly will be some kind of discipline for Major League Baseball following that, depending on what happens there. He was counted on to be their starting shortstop. The new domestic violence policy in Major League Baseball. We've already seen Aroldis Chapman suspended for 30 games, and I give a lot of credit to Major League Baseball and Commissioner Rob Manfred for acting as such and getting this policy in place. It's very important. Yep. It's needed in all sports, not just baseball, but baseball's taken the lead on it, and we're gonna see a number of punishments come down in the future. And it also allows for a leave of absence, which doesn't hamstring the organization as they wait to find out on a particular player. So the Rockies have a hunt for a shortstop going right now, but that's a very troubling case, and we will watch that one closely with Jose Reyes.
Yeah, baseball has really been in the forefront of a lot of these type things, the drug policies and now the domestic violence. No room for that kind of stuff. Got to crack down on it.
1-2 pitch. Carter off the end of the bat. Sun shining brightly. Trevor Story's got it for the out. Walt Weiss was one of the great shortstops. Always loved the way he played the game, and he's a tough, no-nonsense guy. And you would imagine that these young shortstops that they have, like Trevor Story, Walt Weiss would be a great teacher for that position.
Walt Weiss, Craig Counsell, almost clones of each other when talk about getting the most out of their abilities and having nice long careers.
Shane Peterson now takes a strike. A lot of guys who played with Walt Weiss, to a man, when you ask him who's the toughest guy you ever played with, it's Walt Weiss.
Yeah.
So he was a tough guy. I mean,
gamer.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't want to mess with him off the field either, apparently. He was took nothing from anybody.
The best thing that anybody can hear from teammates or baseball people, while you're playing or even after you're playing, say, what about such and such? Walt Weiss, what would you say? A gamer. There's nothing better you can hear somebody else saying about the way you played the game. Gamer, meaning you're going to play regardless of how you're feeling, what's going on. You're paid to play. You get out there and do your job.
Peterson working the count in his favor. Shane, the designated hitter today, the beneficiary of a bright sunny day in Phoenix. He reached on a sun field double his last time up. He'll take that hit. And that one hit hard, way back, but foul. We were asking Shane Peterson, he's dropped about 20 pounds. He's much slimmer than what we saw last year. I asked him if it was going to affect his power at all. He goes, no, I don't think so. Feel lean, feel quick, strong, and wiry. He's another guy the Brewers have been trying out at first base. Can play multiple positions. He can play all three outfield spots. Off the end of the bat. And back to make a play is Barnes fighting that sun. He's got it. Nothing's easy out there today. John Gray works a scoreless third. 3 in the books at Maryvale. 2-0 Brewers. Our Cousins game summary. The Brewers lead 2-0. They got a run in the first inning on a Domingo Santana RBI double. And then Will Middlebrooks had an RBI double in the second that scored Shane Peterson. Rockies had to scratch their starting pitcher today, Tyler Anderson, an oblique injury. John Gray has come on and worked 3 innings. Taylor Youngman went 3 innings. Pitched very well today with 4 strikeouts. And now it'll be Tyler Cravey for the 4th.
And you see his numbers last year. Didn't deserve that 0-8 record. He had some really good starts. A 570 earned run average. His 4th appearance this spring. He's thrown 4 scoreless innings. So having a good spring so far is Tyler Cravey.
Some jobs up for grabs in the Brewers bullpen this year. Right now at the back end of the bullpen, Will Smith and Jeremy Jeffress. They're going to share closer duties. It's going to be a lot about matchups. But those jobs that lead up to that 8th and 9th inning are very important. There's some key innings typically.
7th, 8th innings, right?
And
being able to get to the closer. Will Smith on the left side, very good at getting out right-handed batters, not just lefties. And then you have the power arm of Jeremy Jeffress, who really had a nice season last year. That power fastball, the big curveball. So it looks as though Craig Counsell is pretty comfortable with the 9th inning. It's going to be 7th and 8th that is going to have to be figured out down here.
And Jeremy Jeffress is not pitching yet, but he did throw live batting practice again today. There's probably one more batting practice session for him, and then he'll be ready to pitch in games. And no real concern at all with Jeffress. Everybody's confident that he will be ready to go for opening day. And nursing a little hamstring injury.
But it will be interesting because it's a lot easier to get through the 8th inning in the big leagues than being that guy. The line of last defense, being that closer. It's a different animal altogether.
Single for Carlos Gonzalez leading off the 4th. That's the first hit for the Rockies. They've had 3 base runners today, a walk, a hit batter, and now the first single of the game. Rockies played the Indians yesterday, partner, and they shut them out through 7 1/3. It was 7 1/3 perfect innings, which you rarely see in Arizona in the Cactus League. It's a hitter's league. But they pitched well yesterday against the Tribe in their spring training game.
Hey, sometimes you never know. You're going to see a 12-11 game down here. You could see a 2-1 game. Brewers had a 3-1 game in which they lost early last week. Sometimes you get those low-scoring games, but yeah, 7-1, 7 1/3.
And they beat the Indians yesterday. Colorado did 6-1. They're returning back home tomorrow. They have a beautiful facility called Salt River Fields at Talking Stick, and they'll have the Dodgers tomorrow. They're going to get Clayton Kershaw tomorrow. Spring training, regular season, playoffs, whatever. Kershaw, he's a handful.
At least you don't get him for 8 or 9 innings.
That's right. Not by his wish. I'm sure he'd prefer to go 8 or 9. Cravey. 2-1 count on Nolan Arenado. This guy's emerging as one of the game's best players himself. And that one's way back. No doubt about this one. Arenado sends it on top of the berm. A 2-run home run. Just like that, we're all tied up. That's his 2nd home run of the spring.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter. He got good extension on it. Hit it on the sweet spot and way back there. Up on that walkway above the berm and left. So the first 2 runs allowed by Tyler Cravey, courtesy of a Nolan Arenado 2-run blast.
He is a star.
That's
Nolan
way
Arenado.
back there. Wow.
So 2-2 game now. And here is Ben Paulson. The rollover to second. And Walsh 4 out, number 1.
Yeah, one of the real good pitches for Tyler Cravey is a changeup, and I think that was a changeup that Paulson beat into the ground. A changeup, two-seam fastball. Burst onto the scene against the Cardinals at Busch Stadium in his first start. Allowed only 1 run. What was it, 7 innings? And lost.
Yeah, he pitched well, and he's got some promise. He doesn't have overpowering stuff, but the things that the Brewers like about him is he's a strike thrower. He has command of 3 pitches, great command of 3, and he has a great feel for the game. He works both corners. He's a good athlete on the mound, makes plays, doesn't hurt himself at the plate when he gets a chance as a starting pitcher. He's a baseball player turned pitcher is I guess the best way to describe him.
They just added depth out of this Brewers pitching staff.
Ball and a strike on Trevor Story. And this is the guy who has a golden opportunity now with Jose Reyes out, and who knows how long Reyes will be out or if he'll ever return in a Rockies uniform. Story is a prospect shortstop that they'd like to see win that job. He'll get every opportunity to win the job. He's already hit a couple of home runs this spring. A Tulowitzki-less Rockies team.
You never want to be the guy that plays shortstop right after Tulowitzki.
You want to be the guy that replaces the
second guy. Yeah. They're big shoes to fill.
Two-run home run by Nolan Arenado has the Rockies all even up with the Brewers today. Top of the 4th from Maryvale. And Cravey misses. 2-2 the count. Brewers are going to hit the road tomorrow. As much as you can hit the road in Arizona. On their way to Goodyear tomorrow, which is about a 20-minute ride west. Taking on the Indians tomorrow. By the way, that game will be heard on the radio. That'll be a Brewers Radio Network opportunity tomorrow.
They got a NASCAR race out in the West Valley out here tomorrow. Or is that tonight?
Well, there's activities out there, but the NASCAR race is tomorrow.
Right.
High fly ball to center, way back. Long run, and that one is up and gone. Trevor Story showing tremendous power. Very Tulowitzki-like. And a home run gives the Rockies the lead, now 3-2. Third homer of the spring for Trevor Story.
Yeah, that ball was crushed. The wind's blowing out today. Been blowing out just about every day that we've been here at the ballpark. Look at the extension on that pitch. Got a fastball out over the plate, and check this out. Way back out there in center field.
Two long home runs off Cravey has the Rockies on top. Been a 3-run inning. Here's Michael Tauchman now. That was there was a big group of NASCAR pit crew personnel here at the ballpark today, soaking it up. All with the Richard Petty Racing Group. The 43 car. Colin Walsh scoops this one up, and Tauchman is out.
It's amazing how much stuff goes on out here in the valley all at the same time. You know, art shows. You got the sports expo going on right now. They have something called an ostrich festival down in Chandler.
Oh, is that right?
It's kind of like a carnival. Got ostrich races out there.
Get the ball hard, attaboy.
You can ride those ostriches. Well, some people can.
Some can. Yeah, there's a weight limit, I think, on those big birds.
The ostrich sees Rock coming and like, wait a minute.
They lay
I
down.
didn't sign up for this.
They lay down.
Put their head in the sand, right?
Yeah, right. Head in the sand.
That's funny. No, I was having a fascinating conversation with a member of this pit crew, Richard Petty Racing. He was a football player, college football player. And I didn't know this, but these race crews, they recruit high-level college football players, maybe not the star players, but the role players.
Right.
A, they're used to performing in the pressure, big stadiums. B, the athleticism, strength, and speed combination. A lot of linebackers. They recruit post-college to go work in NASCAR pit crews. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Not
but
easy.
I had no idea that was going on, and we were kind of getting a little understanding of what it takes to work in a NASCAR pit crew. They watch film.
Yeah.
They do all of this stuff to prepare for a game. He said it's very similar to preparing for a college football game.
Yeah, lugging big tires around, right? I mean,
Gas
a second or two can make a big difference, right?
And they do. It's constant drill work, film work, and the choreography of all the pit crew. And it would make sense that you'd want a college athlete or college football player.
Big, fast guy, right?
Yeah. Probably not in the cards for us at this point.
All right, found him. Win the battle. Face it ball.
We didn't fit the specs for a NASCAR pit crew.
Maybe one day, maybe many years ago.
Back in the day.
I mean, I was considered pretty light on my feet. I could
mean,
lift
you
some
used
weight,
to be something.
but now I can't even pick up a ping pong ball these days.
He just missed. Ball 4. Cravy's having a rough go here. 2 outs, but the 4th base runner of the inning. That one didn't miss by much. And that'll bring up Brandon Barnes.
Yeah, too many pitches out of the strike zone for Tyler Cravey. He needs to work ahead in the count. Doesn't throw very hard. Can't afford to be getting behind too often. Throwing too many 2-1, 2-0 pitches. And the Colorado Rockies getting some good swings on him.
And Cravey misses to start the count against Brandon Barnes. Three-2 Rockies. All 3 of those runs coming this inning on big flies. Nolan Arenado hit a 2-run homer. Trevor Story with a solo shot, and they were no doubters. Brandon Barnes, center fielder today. Rockies have a good one as their everyday center fielder, Charlie Blackmon. He's one of those combo guys of speed and power. Good player. Always liked Blackmon.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to be able to cover some ground out there at Coors Field in center field. One of the biggest outfields in all baseball.
They do have
pretty good job.
They have a great outfield.
Right, yeah. A lot of speed. Gonzalez, Parra, Blackmon.
Gold glovers on the corners. Two and one to count. Brandon Barnes at the plate. Hot ground ball. That is through. Base hit. Gets by Middlebrooks. We got a clean single, and we might be coming to the end of Tyler Cravey's day. A lot of pitches here. So Cravey came in. He started the 4th. He will not be able to finish the 4th. 29 pitches.
Yeah, came in having not a lot of run in 4 innings, and he's been getting hit hard here in this inning.
So we'll have a pitching change. 2 outs. Top of the 4th. Rockies still batting and now leading 3-2. the Brew Crew. David Goforth in relief of Tyler Cravey, who is out after 2/3 of an inning. 4 hits and a walk for Cravey. Taylor Youngman started, pitched very well today. See the numbers on Goforth. He emerged last year, kid out of Ole Miss, and a guy with a bright future.
Yeah, fastball, throws in the mid-90s with a good curveball, and is appearing in his team-leading 5th appearance already in spring training. Goforth is feeling as though he has a shot to make that bullpen this year. Why not?
Humpy.
So with 2 outs, Goforth will face Gerardo Parra. Now the Rockies leadoff hitter and left fielder. And the 8th batter of the inning. We're hoping to catch up with Jonathan Lucroy and Chris Carter today. Both have agreed to put a headset on once their day is done. Always enjoy spring training telecast for that reason. Get to go inside the dugout a little bit and see what these guys are thinking. A little bit low key this time of year.
Man on.
Had a nice visit with David Stearns, the Brewers general manager, earlier today.
Yeah, low key for the guys that know they're on the team anyway. Best time to get in front of some of these players. You come down here for a game and pretty good chance you might get an autograph during batting practice. They are much more relaxed than they would be in a regular season. And can you honestly beat the weather?
Cannot. Today is ideal. Temperature about 70. Sunny and 70. We'll take it. It's actually warming up back in Milwaukee. Going to be near 60 today.
Good for the field, the grass at Miller Park. Hope it stays that way.
We'll take it. And Parra strikes out, so Goforth comes on to get through the inning. Couple of home runs, though. Trevor Story put him ahead. Nolan Arenado with this bomb to tie it up. 2-run shot for him. Rockies lead 3-2. Two Rockies, the Valley of the Sun, the Arizona Desert. No place you'd rather be. Cactus League Baseball today. Our Menards scoreboard. A reminder, you can save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Good crowd on hand today. The Rockies and the Brewers matching up. Rockies and the Brewers will have a home and home this year, as typically is the case with a National League team, but it's not going to be until August. The Brewers will host the Rockies August 22nd through 24th, and then they go to Colorado the last 3 games of the season, September 30th and then October 1st and 2nd. So that's where the season's going to end this year. And Denver, Colorado at Coors Field. Brian Schlitter is the new pitcher for the Rockies, the former Cub.
Yeah, former Cub. He spent most of the season last year down in AAA Iowa for Chicago. 45 appearances and a 161 earned run average. Great numbers down in the minor leagues. 10 games with the Cubs, but much different results. A 736 earned run average. Schlitter is 6'5", 240 pounds.
And he's always a guy, for a broadcaster, you have to be extremely diligent with.
Enunciate.
Schlitter facing Will Middlebrooks. Popped him up. And out number one. Saw where the Brewers minor league group over there on the other fields behind us, they hosted the German national team yesterday. And the manager of that team is Garth Orge.
Is that right?
How about that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good old Garth.
Was talking to Doug Melvin today. He's now special assistant and former general manager. Had a good chat with Doug. He's doing great. Doug's out here scouting and really getting back to his roots as a scout. And he's been spending a lot of time on the backfields. And
pressure's off for Doug. And he says he really enjoys going over to the minor league side and watching the young kids and evaluating talent over there. And you don't get to do that too much, and when you're, you know, the top dog, the general manager of the big club.
Doug helping out new general manager David Stearns as needed, where needed. Alex Presley at the plate, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, they had a game over there on the minor league field. Great to see Garth Orge once again.
You got anything on Middlebrook?
They took a team picture, did the German team, with guess who?
Bernie.
No.
The broad.
Yes, but not just any broad.
The pre-cooked broad?
Yeah. Not just any sausage, the pre-cooked broad. Yes.
Right.
No, it was a great picture.
The famous Clements Racing sausage brat.
Yes, that's the one.
That's the one.
I mean, they didn't just hold a brat.
After all, it is sponsor weekend, right?
Check that one off the list.
So we have a Miller Lite in our hand too.
Presley on the ground, wicked hop. That's going to end up in right field. Presley will reach on a base hit. LeMahieu made a dive at it, but it wasn't. I don't think his heart was all the way in. That ball was really hit hard.
Yeah, regular season, maybe a different effort. You could see him kind of hesitate and kind of go down, and the ball over his glove and into right field. So a base hit from Presley. He's swinging the bat well. He's got a home run this spring.
Making an impact this spring, trying to make the team. So a base runner. Brewers down 3-2. Here's Arcia. First ball swinging. Base hit to right. Presley will turn and hold. And Orlando Arcia with a single.
Very confident in his abilities. They say he's very good at going to the opposite field. Stays on the baseball. Makes pretty good contact. A complete player.
And he can run as well. So the Brewers have some speed on the bags. Top of the order. Here's Colin Walsh.
Actually, looking at the statistics, Alex Presley has 2 home runs this spring.
Presley at second. Arcia at first. Presley's only hit 1 on Brewers television, so that's really the only one we
So
count.
the other one doesn't really count?
It counts, but for our purposes. We only like to count what we can actually replay in video.
Make it pitch.
We're not doing all the games, but we're doing a lot. 10 television games, and then there are, I think, 3 others that we're tapping into other Fox regions with their telecast. So you'll be able to see it 13, I believe. That ball's hit well. Deep left center field. Walsh sending it off the wall and left. 1 run is in. Presley. Here comes Arcia. The throw to the plate. Not in time. 2 RBI double for Colin Walsh, and the Brewers take a 4-3 lead.
Right, nice swing. That was a beautiful swing by Walsh, driving that ball into the gap in left center. Brewers putting together some pretty good at-bats against the big, tall Colorado right-hander, as opposed to saying the last name. There you see Walsh waiting back, the ball tailing away from him. He just drives it out there into the gap, and Ed Cedar never hesitating, sending Arcia to home plate all the way. Never had a thought about slowing him down.
Colin Walsh, the switch hitter, drives in 2, gives him 4 RBIs for the spring. And here's Eric Young Jr.
Hey, watch Colin Walsh over there at second base and swinging the bat the way he has. It's going to get that shoulder of Scooter Gennett feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, Gennett hasn't played yet.
It's go time.
And Walsh and Yadiel Rivera, these are guys that are trying to fight for that utility spot or the second base position. That's why a lot of these at-bats, this is such an unusual spring training in that regard for the Brewers. A lot of these at-bats, even though it's the exhibition schedule, they mean a lot. And you can see the intensity is much higher this spring than we've seen in the last few years.
It doesn't appear as though a lot of the starting jobs are available. You know, center field for sure, but you know, these guys are fighting for a spot on the bench. And it's wide open on that bench.
A former stolen base champ in the National League, Eric Young Jr.
Then you have to figure that the experience that Eric Young brings to the table here is going to count for something when the Brewers try to figure out the final pieces to the Brewers 25-man roster as spring training winds down. Nice to have a veteran on the bench, guy that's had success at the major league level.
Chopper, tough play. Young can run, and Story's throw in time for the out. So it does advance a runner.
Yeah, that and the fact that he's a switch hitter, that helps too.
Walsh ends up at third base, a switch hitter himself. And here comes Jonathan Lucroy with 2 away and a runner at third. The Brewers have taken the lead here in the 4th. 4-3 Milwaukee now, after the Rockies scored all 3 of their runs last inning. Arenado with a 2-run homer. Trevor Story hit a solo home run to center field. Both of them were hit a long way. Now Lucroy, and a drive to right, base hit, a run is in. Lucroy with a 2-out RBI single. 5-3 Milwaukee.
Boy, how many times have we seen that out of Lucroy, right? A bullet in the right, goes to the opposite field as well as anybody. Look at the first pitch, breaking pitch. He stayed right on it and drove in a 2-out run.
So the Brewers answer the Rockies' 3-run inning with 3 on the board themselves here in the 4th. Still 2 outs. Here's Santana.
That's it.
Santana has doubled and walked. Doubled in a run in the first inning, walked and stole a base his last time up, back in the 3rd.
Right here.
He's had 15 at-bats. He's only been retired 6 times. 9 for 15 in the Cactus League schedule.
I think what is most impressive, you know, in watching Santana so far this spring has been his patience at the plate. I mean, he's been very disciplined even with 2 strikes.
Drew a walk his last time. He now has 4 walks.
There you go.
And
again.
they get 5.
A close pitch.
So he's played in 7 games and he has 5 walks. 2 today First and second. Here's Chris Carter coming up. And Steve Foster, the Rockies pitching coach, is on his way out to chat with Schlitter. There's a good man right there, Steve Foster. He's got some Wisconsin ties. Matter of fact, he is in the Wausau Baseball Hall of Fame. They're the Woodchucks Hall of Fame. He ran that independent league team, the college league team.
Northwoods League. Great Woodback College League.
Steve, in his first pitching coaching job here with the Rockies, he was there last year. He was actually a very big part of the Royals' pitching success. He was the pitching coordinator with the Kansas City Royals. So a lot of those young pitchers that have emerged, Steve Foster was running that department all those years. Slow roller. Schlitter up with it. He slips. Schlitter slips, but he still makes the play for the out. And the inning is over. Say that 10 times fast. The inning is over. Brewers get 3, and they lead it 5-3. Lead 5-3. The Rockies got 3 in the 4th, and the Brewers answered 3 of their own. So here we go to the 5th inning. And our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Brewers White Sox coming up on television, Fox Sports Wisconsin Wednesday. And then later next week you got the Reds, and then it'll be the Angels on the 19th. We'll be picking up the Angels telecast for that one. Miller Lite What's on Tap. Say hi to all of our friends from Miller Coors. Big group of them here in Phoenix for sponsor weekend.
I was invited to the Miller Coors dinner last night by my good friend Jim Wright. Had a good time over at Mastro's. Nice big New York strip. Some Miller Lights. Does it get any better than that? Eating outside. Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir. Rock's going to drop a few.
What a great group of people that they bring down every year. There's 50 people, with the Miller Coors group.
Always a good time. New pitcher, Rock. Hiram Burgos.
Yeah, Burgos, his second appearance in spring training. The Brewers actually brought him up in 2013. He made 6 starts. At a 644 earned run average. You see him last year in the minor leagues. 27 starts. Pretty good earned run average, around 2.7.
Presley over his head. Can't get it. It'll end up as extra bases. DJ LeMahieu with a double. Boy, the Rockies are hitting the ball hard in the last couple of innings.
And Burgos has to keep the baseball down. He doesn't throw hard at all. I mean, mid-80s maybe with the fastball. Throws a number of different breaking pitches, off-speed pitches, and relies on control, getting ahead in the count, and certainly keeping the baseball down. Didn't do it that time.
So a man on with a double. Cardinals Gonzalez will hit now. Probably the last at bats for most of these starters and these name players. Now we've had a great time with the sponsors this week. Been a lot of fun. It's always a fun trip, fun weekend here. And Brewers do a great job. They charter a flight and they bring a big group. It's like 200, 250 people.
That kicks off on Thursday night with a big party, and at 7 o'clock, a lot of the players, all the coaches show up. And a bunch of folks from the Miller Coors Company. We're thinking about Paul Camacho and Sherry Camacho. No, Sherry's battling illness, and a bunch of us and the Miller Coors folks had a sign made. Keep fighting, Sherry. She's having a rough time, and we're thinking about you. Hang in there, and you're going to get better real soon. So all your friends from Miller Coors want to send that shout out.
Gonzalez flies to Santana for the first out. Tagging and advancing is LeMahieu. So one gone, runner at third for Nolan Arenado. Burgos is from Puerto Rico. He is now 28 years of age. From Calle, Puerto Rico, but he played his college ball in Daytona Beach at Bethune-Cookman. Brewers drafted him in the 6th round in 2009. Kind of an improbable rise to the big leagues in 2013. That's been his only big league season. He's put together good numbers in the minor leagues. Another guy that is a survivor is the best way to classify Burgos. He doesn't have overpowering stuff, but he's been able to make it work at the high levels of the minor leagues.
He's having a difficult time making that transition, getting an opportunity. He mentioned he was up in 2013, had that high earned run average, and the Brewers really haven't called him up since.
Give a lot of credit to a player like this, though. He's, you know, I think when you see him as a young player, probably never imagined that he'd be able to even pitch a day in the big leagues. Classified as an organizational pitcher, an org guy, they say, but I tell you, as long as you got a chance, you can make it work. Arenado, a little slow roller and no play for Middlebrooks. That's going to be an RBI for Arenado on a little dribbler over to third base. Infield hit. RBI makes it 5-4 Milwaukee.
There's an off-speed pitch by Burgos. Arenado way out in front, but able to get a bat on it and just a little dribble to drive in the run. Burgos doesn't get many strikeouts. He doesn't throw hard. Needs those ground ball outs.
Come on, man.
So one away, a run is in. Arenado now with 3 runs batted in. And here's Ben Paulson. It's funny how the game is, right? Arenado picks up 2 RBIs on a 400-foot home run. And then he just picks up an RBI on about a 40-foot ground ball.
Little dribbler, right? Point is, you make contact and you give yourself a chance to make something happen, right? Put the bat on the baseball. That's one thing that we've seen out of this Brewers offense. These young kids are coming up, putting the bat on the baseball and not trying to do too much. Put the ball in play good defense, and pitch a little bit. Could be an interesting season. The defense has been very good so far in spring.
Yeah, these fields, this time of year, you start to get into the halfway point of the schedule. They start to get baked a little bit, hard. Ground is extremely hard, and Burgos walks Paulson. And 2 on now with 1 away. But yeah, there's some really difficult hops. Ball gets on you in a hurry off the ground here.
This field is beautiful, though. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
see too many guys complaining about it. John David, his grounds crew, does a nice job trying to keep this playing surface in big league shape, and it's under trying conditions. Not easy, as you mentioned, especially with the heat that we had last week.
Brewers are fortunate here. They don't share this facility with another team. The Rockies share their facility with the Diamondbacks. That's an advantage for the Brewers. I mean, their facility is extremely nice, but I think the Brewers like the idea of having their own space. Don't have to share it with anybody, and don't really have to manipulate the schedule at all. For example, the Brewers have had 3 consecutive home dates for their sponsor weekend. That's not something you could do if you were sharing a facility. You pretty much you don't see more than 2 in a row,
right,
in your own ballpark. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the spring training setup for the Brewers. They're in a year-to-year contract with Maryville, and Mark Atanasio saying that he'd like to have some upgrades done to this ballpark, some things that they feel like is important for their baseball operations. Remember, the Brewers don't just use this facility for spring training. This is a year-round operation here. They have a minor league team here in Arizona. Their rehab facility is here.
Extended spring and fall baseball. The Brewers have talked to a lot of different communities, but haven't been able to put anything together yet. I think it makes it a little bit more difficult when you are set on just wanting to occupy a new stadium by yourself. I think the trend is that, you know, teams are teaming up 2 for 1 for a community.
Good curveball, a little pop-up, going to be a tough play, long run. Eric Young Jr. will run it down. And the second out of the 5th inning, still 2 on. Now we're hoping to catch up with Jonathan Lucroy and Chris Carter following their game today. Carter has 3 at-bats, I should say, and Lucroy with an RBI single his last time up. He's got his 3 at-bats in. So I would imagine we'll start to see some changes here coming up. Right now, starters are at home playing 5 innings in the field and 3 at-bats at the plate.
White.
They'll start to extend that out a little bit as we get closer to the season.
Yeah, no need in playing 9 innings at this point. Well, that and the fact that you want to see some of your younger players in a game. It's not just that guys can't play 9 innings. They certainly can, but the fact is that the coaching staff, and they want to see the younger guys. You know, Lucroy doesn't have anything to prove. He gets his work in, and then you bring in some of these younger kids that give them a look.
Yeah, they're all scurrying around down there, ready to go. The line change is coming. 2 outs in a 5-4 Brewer lead. And that curveball misses. Michael Tauchman playing today as the designated hitter. Two and 2 now. Brewers scored in the first. RBI double by Santana. Added 1 in the 2nd inning on a Will Middlebrooks RBI double. And then the Rockies got 3 in the 4th. Arenado went deep. Trevor Story had a solo shot. Arenado's was a 2-run homer. And then the Brewers scored 3 in the bottom of the 4th. There's a called strike 3. Inning is over. Tauchman is out. Rockies get 1 on Arenado's 3rd RBI, the infield hit, but the Brewers still lead it. We head to the home 5th. On Fox Sports Wisconsin. So great to have you along with us today. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder and our producer and director Marty Tarr, statistician Glenn Preston. Another day in paradise here in March, and the Brewers and the Rockies hooked up in a good one thus far. It's 5-4 Brewers. New pitcher for the Rockies of Colorado is a familiar name, Chad Qualls.
Yeah, 60 appearances with the Astros last year. He's been with the Astros 2 different times. He started his career in Houston, and last year in 2014 with the Astros. Former closer in the big league. 60 appearances last year and a .438 earned run average.
So Qualls will face Shane Peterson. Brewers brought 8 batters to the plate last inning, scored 3 runs. 2 RBI double by Colin Walsh, and then Lucroy had an RBI single. And on the first pitch, nice play at first. Paulson hits his man covering the bag. Well done by the Rockies first baseman and pitcher. 1 away.
Yeah, veteran still able to bounce off that mound and cover first base. No hesitation. Nice defensive play by Colorado. They're going to give him a little bit of a breather. You know, he's been in baseball quite some time, a veteran. He actually signed in 2000. It was like a meeting on the mound to make sure he was able to catch his breath.
With that sprint over to first base.
Yeah.
Only in baseball. Are you okay? That was a long run over there. Need a minute? Here's Will Middlebrooks.
But they only do it for pitchers.
Outfielder goes 100 feet to catch a fly ball. No break. There's a strike on Middlebrooks.
Actually, pitchers get irritated when it takes them a little bit too long to get back to their position.
Let's get some hustle out there, boys.
Hey, let's go. They are coddled, aren't they?
Well, you know, they're the lifeblood of the game, Rock, those pitchers, and they know it.
Yeah.
The divas that they are. Kind of like TV analysts. Middlebrooks takes a ball. 1-2 the count. Speaking of television personalities, Will Middlebrooks' wife is in the business, Jenny Dell. She is a great reporter, on-air personality. Does a lot of network broadcasts with CBS, and used to be with the Red Sox. The Middlebrooks live here in the Phoenix area. I was talking to Will a little bit today. He's from Texarkana, Texas.
Second base.
Right on the Texas-Arkansas border.
You guys have a connection, don't you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, you just know when somebody is from Texas.
You can just hear it. A little pop-up. Paulson's going to give way to LeMahieu, and there is out number 2.
Is there some kind of vibe, or what is it?
Well, probably. I think it's called the Force.
Is it like a smell or some kind,
it's
or
the
what?
Force.
Okay. That Texas thing is huge. I mean, the longer I know you, the scarier it becomes.
Yeah, Will and I were talking about some Texas music. We don't call it country music or folk music. We call it Texas music.
Your own.
It's big in Wisconsin, by the way.
Is that fiddle or no fiddle?
Oh, there's a fiddle. Slide guitar, a fiddle. Because if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band.
Right. Yep.
Unfortunately, that was a band from Alabama. But they're right. 2 outs. Alex Presley, who singled and scored his last time up.
And not many people know that about you. You're a big country guy.
Texas music.
Yeah. Texas, I'm sorry, yeah.
But you're the one who's been on horseback much more often than I have lately.
I believe I've been banned doing that.
Yeah,
as
well, the horses came together in their horse union.
It's not just an ostrich I can't get on anymore.
I mean, only the Clydesdales are willing to take on the big boy to the right.
They got a scale waiting for me when I head over to the ranch.
Presley sends one high to right field. The glasses are on for Gonzalez, and he's got it in a 1-2-3 inning for Chad Qualls.
Come on, Murph.
5 in the books. We go to the 6th inning. Brew Crew up a run on the Rockies.
Brewers as we head to the 6th inning here at Maryvale, and it's your ticket plan. Pick the games you want with the new Fans Choice 10-pack. You choose your 10 games, plus get opening day as your free 11th game. And this season, you even have the flexibility to choose your games as you go. Learn more at brewers.com/10packs.
Fun in the sun in Maryvale Baseball Park. Spring training baseball today, and the Brewers lead at 5-4. Jonathan Lucroy with an RBI single. The difference in the game right now, and Jonathan Lucroy joins us in the Brewers first base dugout as we watch Hiram Burgos go to work again. And a ground ball to third. That's Garen Cicchini just into the game, and he makes the play, and a perfect setup for Jonathan Lucroy. Welcome, Luke. Thanks for spending a little time with us today.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Are you able to go through all the changes with us and keep us organized up here in the booth?
Hey, I can barely keep myself organized, guys. You guys are barking up the wrong tree with that one. You better go to
give us a little summary, one sentence on each guy.
Yeah, we're looking for some bio information.
Yeah, I barely know my bio, so no.
You catch today, your 4th start behind the plate. You've been playing as a designated hitter a little bit to get your at bat. So what's the philosophy here? But between DHing, catching, how much do you really need to catch to get ready for a season?
Catching wise, not a lot. I mean, you can do a lot of the work in the bullpen. Obviously, game speed's a big thing, but for the most part, I'm just trying to familiarize myself with the pitchers and their different pitches and the way the ball moves and all that. And, doing little things and like trying to get my receiving stuff down, my blocking stuff down, making good throws. Really just trying to amp up. I mean, there's no reason to go out there and blow it out right now. I'm just trying to take it nice and easy and just kind of work my way up with that.
So the concussion symptoms from last year, really no lasting effects of that. When did you start really feeling like 100% like your old self again?
Oh, I 2.5 weeks, well, probably 2.5 weeks after I gotten hit. So I'm still messed up in the head, messed up, but the concussion symptoms are gone. So
your baseline was already skewed to start with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting with a short straw here anyway, boys. You know what I'm
saying? we talk a lot on the field, Jonathan, and down here in spring training. You're of the mindset that you need a few more at bats and maybe a Ryan Braun. Braun, says he needs about 25 to 30 at bats. You feel as though you need more than that in spring training.
Yeah, I'm not as physically talented as that, so I got to get a little more work in. Him and Ramirez was like that. That guy was unbelievable. He come back from injury, taking a month off, and he go rake his first game. It was just crazy stuff. I don't know how they do it. I feel like I got to see the ball, get my timing down. I think there's a lot that goes into it for me. So I just like to be comfortable. I think comfortable is the best word for it.
Yeah, when you're catching in these games, I mean, you have guys that they're going out there working on stuff like Taylor Youngman. Seems like he's had a nice game today. First of all, talk about a little bit about him, but he's working on changeups. How does that affect the way you call a game here in spring training?
I mean, you just want to get yourself in the right counts. I mean, his changeup is his last pitch in terms of effectiveness for him. And, guys are right now trying to work on their weaknesses to try to make them better and stronger. So, we pick the right counts for those. And we get to a spot. Hold on.
Yeah, that's going to drop down fair. So that's a base hit for Tapia, who's batting for the first time. Cutoff and relay is a little late, and that is going to be a triple for Raimel Tapia.
Yeah, walk us through, Taylor's performance today. It looked like he had pretty good stuff today.
He did. He hit a guy, walked the first hitter, and then he hit Arenado. But the thing is with him is he's so deceptive, especially on right-handed hitters, that he has that crossfire delivery. So as a hitter, right-handed hitter, the ball's coming from behind you. It's kind of crazy. But he was able to get out of that jam pretty good. But we're just trying to throw strikes, be down in the zone, expand off-speed stuff, and like I said, mixing that change-up in the right counts, to let him work on it. So he did good today. He did really good.
Visiting with Jonathan Lucroy, former All-Star catcher with the Brewers, hoping to return to that level of play. And I know last year, we've talked about this a little bit, but last year the toe injury early, the concussion late, that was one of those seasons. It just felt like, and the way the team played, one to forget about. But coming into this year, wiping the slate clean, and it is an interesting mix of guys. And I'm just curious to know how you feel about how things are going this season and this spring as you prepare for the regular season.
Yeah, individually I feel pretty good. Just trying to have good basketball heart somewhere, working some kinks out. Trying to get rid of the bad habits I created last year, and I'll be there. I'm not worried about it too much. So and just forget about last year. I mean, I was injured, but it's not an excuse. I don't use that as an excuse. I was awful before I got hurt. So you guys know me. I don't mince words too much. So it's just about getting better every year, and that's all it is. Don't worry about the past, forget about all that, and worry about right now.
This young catcher the Brewers acquired in the Chris Davis deal with Oakland, Jacob Nottingham, he's been raving about your willingness to mentor him and talk through him. What have those conversations been like for you, Joe?
Well, it's been pretty easy, man. He wants to learn, he wants to win, and he wants to catch. And to be a catcher, you got to want it and you got to love it. I mean, there's nobody behind the plate that doesn't want to be there. If they don't want to be there, you're going to know it. So, he wants to be back there, and it's something that's easy for me to help him out with because he has a will. So. It's a tough position, but he's a football player, and he's ready to rock, man. He's a good kid, hard worker, so all you can ask for.
Well, Jonathan, we appreciate your time today. Good job today. Had an RBI single, and always fun to catch up with you. We wish you the best the rest of the spring, and we'll be ready for you opening day, man. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, boys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
And on that note, a strikeout takes us to the commercial. Thanks to Jonathan Lucroy spending a little time with us today. Rockies tie it up. We're all even at 5 as we go to the Brewer half of the 6th. 5, Brewers Rockies spring training baseball. Rock, you remember the dismal performance of the Italian yesterday?
I do. Yep.
Redemption today.
Somebody must have had to talk to him.
Yep. I mean, it happens. Meetings happen. By the way, you can watch the Bucks on the go, just like the sausages. Stop by the Fox Sports Go booth outside section 211 at the Bradley Center. Thursday, March 17th is the date, and they'll be taking on the Grizzlies that day. Download the Fox Sports Go app. Get a free hat or T-shirt while supplies last. FoxSportsWisconsin.com. Click on the upcoming events tab for details. New pitcher is hard-throwing lefty Jake McGee. And he'll face Orlando Arcia to start the inning.
He's been with the Diamondbacks, or I should say the Tampa Bay Rays throughout his career. Now with the Colorado Rockies, 39 appearances out of the bullpen last year for the Rays.
Not now.
And posted a nice 241 earned run average.
And no real secrets with Jake McGee. He is a fastball pitcher, and it is firm and very tough to pick up. Arcia turns it around, way back. Goodbye, a home run. Orlando Arcia puts the Brewers on top 6-5.
Didn't have any trouble picking up that pitch. Goodness. That was a bullet out of here. So a couple of hits for Arcia today. Base hit to right, home run to left. Looking pretty good.
Well, he plays the game with such enthusiasm. And good to see him go deep. First home run of big league spring training, and all smiles for the Venezuelan shortstop. So back to the top of the order. Hernan Perez takes a strike. Well, you get a home run from one of the smallest guys on the field. That sets us up perfectly for one of the biggest. Chris Carter joining us in the Brewers first base dugout. And a free agent signee for Milwaukee. Chris, great to have you. You look great in a Milwaukee uniform, partner.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How's it feel? You bounced around a little bit, but the Brewer fits you well.
No, it feels good to be here. You know, great group of guys. Cal's has been great this spring, and that's all you can ask for.
What are your thoughts about Miller Park potentially playing half your games there? And obviously it's a home run friendly ballpark, and it's the kind of ballpark that you could really thrive in.
I mean, I've never played there, but you know, everyone keeps telling me it's a great ballpark to hit. Real hitter friendly, and you know, I'm gonna have a good time this year there hitting.
Chris, you know you're going to have some home runs in center field at Miller Park. Not so much in Houston. That's a big outfield out there in Houston in center.
Yeah, I mean, that outfield in Houston is 436, so almost was like a graveyard out there in center. But left field is pretty short. But you know, most balls hit the left don't. I don't really need that there. You're
going to be getting a lot of work at first base. How's it going over there? And what kind of things are you working on over at first base?
You know, just keep the feet moving over there, and you know, just every day working with the guys, getting to know everybody's arms, and you know, just working on picks with them, and you know, just being more complete over there so I can play every day, and you know, guys have confidence in me.
I was talking to Craig Counsell as we watched Kirk Neuenhuis bat here for the Brewers, but Craig Counsell made an interesting point about you, Chris. He said maybe you're typecast as the power hitter where defense doesn't really matter. You play a little first base, you're a designated hitter in the American League, but he feels like you're a very good athlete, and he wants to raise the expectations of the defensive side of first base. He feels like you're easily an everyday guy that can play first base and be very good over there, along with the offense that you bring. What do you think about that philosophy from the manager concerning you?
No, it's nice to have the manager have that confidence in you. I mean, you talked to me about that a little bit, and you know, we work hard every day out here. You know, I have early work, you know, every other day, and you know, I do everything extra after, you know, during BP and after games I don't play. So, I mean, we're working hard every day, and you know, trying to get me the best I can be out for the team.
Well, I know you take a lot of pride in what you do defensively. Obviously, what you do at the plate is what has kept you in the major leagues all these years. But what's been different on the defensive side? So, give me an example of things that maybe you haven't done or that hasn't been asked of you at first base until this season.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is, you know, our infield guy Carlos. He has me out there. You know, we work on, you know, our backhands. You know, every day. Like on our, you know, I'll do them on my knees at first, and we'll do them standing up, and then we'll do them like, you know, back in the hole, and work on, you know, just everything in the four hole. You know, in the awkward position with the shifts. You know, just, you know, doing everything, you know, in game position throughout play, and not just in one spot in the field.
No, Chris, you were part of the big turnaround for the Houston Astros, and the Brewers are in the process of doing the same. What kind of similarities do you see right here with this Brewers ball club that you saw maybe a couple of years ago with Houston?
I think the biggest thing is the young talent. I mean, we have so much young talent here right now. You know, guys like Arcia and Liriano, you know, Hernan. You know, it's just, you know, we got guys at every position that can play everywhere, and, you know, that's a big thing for, you know, having that versatility.
Visiting with Chris Carter with 2 outs here in the Brewer half of the 6th inning. Chris, you got a chance to play in the postseason last year for the first time. What was that experience like? You had a really good series against the eventual world champion Royals, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, what you play for all season. It's, you know, the greatest feeling, you know, just getting to the playoffs, playing that atmosphere, you know, having the fans, you know, just playing, you know, having the fans behind you like that at home and going on the road and hearing the roar of the crowd for their team. It's just, you know, one of those surreal experiences that, you know, I think every player should feel.
You had a home run in the division series. When your mind allows you to flash back, what was it like? What's that experience like to hit a home run on the biggest stage?
I mean, I remember it was off of Duffy, and it was a first pitch fastball I got, and you know, I mean, our stadium erupted. We were up that game in Game 4, and you know, I think we're up 3 at the time, and I mean, we ended up losing that game. But that game we should have won. You know, that could have changed everything.
Well, that was a terrific series. The Royals ended up winning that series, winning the World Series, and a big turnaround. I think that's what the Brewers model is. Kansas City, and of course the Cubs and the Houston Astros. And Chris, you've kind of lived through that rebuild mode, and now hoping to be a part of another one here in Milwaukee. Any thoughts on David Stearns at all? How well did you know him with the Astros, and what do you have to offer on him as the Brewers GM?
No, I mean, he was great with the Astros. I mean, he had real good communication. I mean, he was always down the field. You can talk to him at any time. I mean, he's just a great guy to be around, you know. I mean, he's real personable. You know, he's always, you know, call me, text me, whatever you want. So, you know, a good guy to have as your GM. You can, you know, have that communication with him.
That's great to hear. Thanks for spending some time with us, Chris. We welcome you to Milwaukee.
All right, thanks for having me.
Chris Carter, the Big Bopper at Miller Park this year. That looks like a fun place to hang out. Maybe do a little paddle boarding.
You ever been there?
No. It's exciting.
Too bad. I've been there.
You got something to read?
Oh, do I? I don't have a card. Oh, there it is. All right, it's time to start planning your 2016 group outing to Miller Park. Group packages are available at the discounted preseason rate through March 31st. So place your reservation now to lock in the lowest prices for your 2016 group event. Go to brewers.com/groups.
We have a long way to go with the promo situation.
You know what I was doing, and forgive me, I was looking up, you know, Ariel Pena's statistics here this spring.
Who happens to be on the mound.
Right. So I apologize for being a little bit tardy on the promo.
So Pena gets an appearance today. The Brewers lead 6-5. Orlando Arcia just hit a home run to give the Brewers a lead. Well, what did you come up with on Ariel Pena.
Fourth appearance down here in spring training. There you see his year last year. He made 5 starts with the Brewers, a 2-1 record. Looked pretty good in doing it.
Ground ball up the middle, and Perez flips to Yadiel Rivera with hopes that he could maybe make a play. That was a base hit once it got past the pitcher.
Yadiel never saw it.
He's glad he didn't hit him. So that'll be an infield hit.
Yeah, once that one got under the glove of Pena, it was going to be a tough play to get him out. Perez with no chance, and Rivera almost got hit in the head with it.
Single for Inoa. All the changes have pretty much been made across the board. Here's Kyle Parker, who took over for Carlos Gonzalez in right field. Six-5 Brewers. We've seen some home run balls today. Arcia has the lone Brewers homer. Arenado and Trevor Story both homered for Colorado. Arenado finishes 2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in. 2-run home run and then an RBI on an infield hit. He was hit by a pitch as well. Brewers up a run. 7th inning, ground ball. Cicchini to second, out there, and that's all they'll get.
Yeah, nice sidearm flip over to second base to get the lead runner.
Garen Cicchini checking in at third base for Will Middlebrooks last inning. So the new infield is Cicchini, Rivera, Perez, and Flores around the horn. This one goes Cicchini to Perez.
And make sure, one, they knew they weren't going to be able to get a double play, so Perez made sure he had his foot on the bag. Umpires are going to be looking at that closely this year.
Areas of emphasis and a number of changes. That is now reviewable, by the way. The play at second base.
No, in the neighborhood at second base.
Putting a lot of burden on the runner to not only make contact with the bag, but be able to stay on the bag.
Stay on the bag and not get the leg up over the knee.
No barrel rolls.
Right.
Runner goes. Foul ball out of play.
Which is also reviewable. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch. I mean, reviewable as opposed, you know, with the slide into second base.
We don't have any. We don't have many replay opportunities in the spring, even though our games are televised. But that's the interesting part, because it's going to start. I'm sure they'll have it set up maybe at the end of spring training where the umpires can get a little work with it. But I guess I'm not sure about that.
Make contact above the knee on a slide, and you're going to be called out.
Yeah, going to be called out. That's right.
Yeah.
And that is what protects the neighborhood play. So the neighborhood play was there to allow the second baseman or shortstop to clear and protect himself. This year, because you're not allowed to barrel roll or come in with high cleats, since the middle infielder is protected, then you got to stay on the bag now.
You can still come in hard. I mean, you can still play good hard baseball and take out a second baseman. You're going to have to. It's going to be very closely watched, as opposed to, you know, just you know, runners really were able to do whatever they wanted at any point.
Yeah, just Google search Hal McRae and barrel roll, and you'll find out the way it used to be. And the old stories about Ty Cobb used to sharpen up his spikes.
Right.
Trying to hurt the opposition. That was always kind of a funny baseball lore thing, but I tell you, you know, you get into conversations with middle infielders about it. I remember we had a conversation with Dwayne Kuiper, Giants announcer, and he was hurt badly on a collision at second base. It's a very serious topic, and you certainly don't want to. Player safety is of utmost importance.
Right. Trying to minimize injuries to your star players. And I agree with it. I think it's a good thing. They're going to be timing visits to the mound this year.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
30 seconds from the time you pop out of the dugout.
Pena's got one out, runner at first. Ben Paulson, the hitter, runner goes, and it's ball 4. 2 on now. And that'll bring up Trevor Story, young shortstop who is impressing this spring. He hit his 3rd home run of the spring in the 4th inning.
Oh, yeah, bomb into center field.
6-5 Brewers. Back and forth they go. Brewers led 2-0. Rockies then scored 3 in the 4th to take a 3-2 lead. And then the Brewers answered with 3 in the bottom of the 4th. Colin Walsh drove in 2 with a double, and then Lucroy with an RBI single. Rockies got 1 in the 6th. Brewers answered with a run in the 7th on an Arcia home run. Orlando, his first spring training home run.
Not true.
Liner into left, a base hit. And they will send the runner. Here comes the throw on a hop, the catch, the tag, save.
And missed him.
Good slide by Kyle Parker and avoided the tag of Pena.
Just missed him by an inch, but he did miss him. I'll tell you, Jim Reynolds, the home plate umpire, in perfect position to see that missed tag call, and the Rockies once again tie it up.
Trevor Story with his 2nd RBI evens it up at 6. No spring training necessary for Jim Reynolds. It's a good call. Good slide too, I tell you.
Yep, the infield side of the first base or home plate. If he went straight in, he would have been out.
That's one of those cases where the catcher, we're talking about slide rules and the rules implemented at home plate last year, but Pena had no choice but to step into the running lane because the throw was coming that direction. And Parker was able to adjust his slide, go inside. Pena fields the bunt and makes the play on Tauchman for out number 2. Move the runners over.
Man, you can't block off home plate unless you have the baseball, unless the throw takes you in the baseline.
They'll give him a sacrifice, by the way.
Not quite sure why you would do that in this situation.
I
right?
think he was just trying to bunt for a hit.
With 1 out, I mean, he squared around like it was a sacrifice.
Maybe the Rockies management wants to see if he can bunt when asked. And he did.
You don't see many DHs in the American League bunt.
Right.
Especially 1st and 2nd, 1 out.
I'm guessing that was a directive from the bench. Dustin Garneau is the batter. Came in at the catcher position. He pops one up. Yadiel Rivera is waving off, and he's got it to end the inning. However, the Rockies score on an RBI single by Trevor Story. We are all tied again, 6-6.
Well, stretch time here at Maryvale, all tied at 6. Yeah, scoreboard, total board pretty even, huh? 6-9-0 for both ball clubs. Hey, BA, get your cape ready for Superhero Night at Miller Park, presented by Quick Trip on Saturday, April 30th, as the Brewers battle the Marlins. Fans who purchase a Superhero Night special ticket package will get a Jonathan Lucroy Superhero bobblehead. Visit Brewers.com/theme nights.
Oh, they're having a lot of fun here at Maryvale Baseball Park. 7th inning stretch time. Take me out to the ball game. Good crowd on hand today. The Brewers and the Rockies are all even at 6. A lot of changes for the Rockies, and they have a new pitcher, Nelson Gonzalez. As we tap into the deep analytical research of Bill Schroeder here in the late innings.
Well, I didn't get anything on him because I was concentrating on the promo. Remember, I kind of messed up the promo last time because I was digging into Hiram Burgos.
It's like spinning plates, Rock. You got to keep them all spinning on the sticks. You'll come up with something, I'm confident.
It's only March.
Nelson Gonzalez.
Yep, 42 games last year, a 5-4 record and a 3.00 ERA. How's that?
Excellent. Excellent reader. Michael Reed, speaking of, leads off for the Brewers. Hit a long home run in the right center field yesterday. Impressive home run halfway up the berm in deep right center.
Made a nice catch yesterday.
One and one. Gonzalez deals jam shot out to second base. Rafael Noah is there. And there's out number one. Michael Reed retired. Don't forget, you can log on to fswisconsin.com. Check out the latest from the Brewers spring training photo gallery. It's got our Brewers television schedule. And the Wisconsin Badgers knocked out of the Big Ten tournament, but heading for the big dance when it really counts. Congratulations to Greg Gard for his contract. After being the interim coach, got the full-time gig, and very well deserved. He's a good man and a very good coach.
Did a nice job pulling that thing together.
Flores to left. His first at bat ends up as an out. Hit it hard though.
By the way, where are you starting out the NCAA tournament?
I'm not sure. I'm still waiting. Selection Sunday is tomorrow, and we will find out with the rest of the country. I can't wait though. I'm looking forward to it. Such a great event.
That first day's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Nothing like it. 4 games. 4 games in a row. It's usually about 30 minutes in between.
You're not doing a play-in game?
We don't call them play-in game, Rock. We call it the first 4 round.
I'm sorry. Are you doing the first 4 round?
No, I'm not. I am not.
You don't have to scold me.
No, the Carter Blackburn and let's see, Andrew Catalan will be calling the play-by-play of the first 4 round, as Jacob Nottingham with a base hit.
Did you learn that at the seminar?
Yes, I did. That was really the only thing at the seminar that I was able to bring home.
Took away. I'm glad you corrected me.
No, I've done that game the last 2 years.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
We don't call it the play.
What did you call it then?
We call it the first 4.
You've always called
it round 1 then. It's no longer round 1 anymore. Okay. It's called the first 4 round.
But you're not doing it.
But I'm not doing it.
Regardless of what you call it.
So it's basically dead to me at this point. The young prospect Nottingham with a single. Nice to see him swing the bat. And there's another base hit. Garen Cicchini is aboard. Back-to-back singles with 2 outs. And the Brewers have him at the corners.
They were talking about these young guys. I mean, they put some pretty good swings on the baseball. Cicchini stayed right on it, out of the reach at first base, and Brewers with 2 outs and nobody on, back-to-back singles, have a chance to take the lead once again. Nice short stride, just picking that front foot up, setting it down, good balance, and a base hit to right.
So Cecchini at first, you got Nottingham at third, and here's Keon Broxton batting for the first time, and a chance to give the Brewers the lead in the 6-6 game. Keon Broxton, acquired from the Pirates this offseason. He was in the Jason Rogers deal. No room for outfielders with the Pirates. They're pretty well set. So Broxton gets a brand new opportunity here with Milwaukee. And he's fighting for that center field position.
That's going to be a good battle as it goes down the stretch. I mean, Broxton covers a lot of ground. You got Newen Heiss. Alex Presley looks good out in center field.
Do it again. Hey, do it again.
Well, these are important at-bats for a guy like Keon Broxton. It's an exhibition game, but there's a lot on at-bats like this. Clutch situation, 2 outs. Broxton, center field, base hit. And the Brewers regain the lead. Nottingham scores 3 consecutive singles and put a mark down for Keon Broxton, delivering in the clutch.
Stayed right on it, jammed him a little bit, but able to muscle it into center field. Fastball right down the middle of the plate. You can see Broxton with that little leg kick and able to line one into center field to give the Brewers a lead, 7-6.
All started with 2 outs and nobody on. Nottingham, the young 20-year-old catching prospect, delivered a single. And then Cecchini, and now the RBI hit by Broxton. 7-6 Brewers. 2 on, 2 outs.
Yeah, Brewers have scored in every inning but 2 today. No runs in the 3rd and the 5th.
Yadiel Rivera batting for the first time. He's in there for Arcia, who hit a go-ahead home run for the Brewers last inning in his final at-bat. Orlando finishes 2 for 3 today. Right off the end of the bat, and that'll trickle foul. Game started with Taylor Youngman on the mound, and he pitched well today. We had a chance to visit with Jonathan Lucroy in the dugout. Lucroy had an RBI single. Arcia. Youthful exuberance.
No lack of confidence down that end of the dugout.
I like the fact he's hanging around. I mean, he's going to start the year in AAA.
Right.
He's not pulling the big league act. You know,
No.
he takes him out of the game. He's staying.
That's frowned upon.
Yes. Stayed till the end. Now, Jonathan Lucroy can head to the clubhouse.
You were number 72. You stick around.
Ground ball, bobbled, recovers, and a strong throw. Smalling gets the out at first base to end the inning. However, the Brewers take the lead. Keon Broxton with a key 2-out RBI. A lot of fun in the ballpark. Brewers now on top. the Milwaukee Brewers may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers. We go to the 8th inning from Maryville Baseball Park, spring training home of the Brewers. And we have a new pitcher for Milwaukee. Daniel Tillman is on the mound.
That third appearance for Tillman down here in spring training. Two different levels of the minor leagues last year, Tulsa and Rancho Cucamonga. You see his numbers combined between the two levels. 48 appearances, a 1-4 record, and a very good earned run average. 276. A lot more strikeouts than innings pitched.
So Daniel Tillman. Second appearance this week for him. Trying to protect a 7-6 lead. Tillman was pitching in winter ball this year, had a couple of appearances. Puerto Rico. And a hard thrower deals a strike. In the Dodgers system last year, Rancho Cucamonga is single A in the Cal League. The Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, and their ballpark is called the Epicenter.
I get it.
Right on the fault line.
Earthquakes, yeah.
Tapia rolls one, foul, just missed the bag. Flores over at first base.
Guard the line, able to get there easily.
It's an interesting guy to watch this spring, Ramon Flores. He is an outfielder, but the Brewers need, with one of their utility jobs, they need somebody who can play the outfield, bat left-handed, and play first base. And Flores came to camp knowing he had two of those that fit, but he had not played first base. And so this year is, or this spring anyway, is his chance to try to prove he can do it. There's a fly ball left field slicing, and it's going to be run down by Neuenhuis. Nice catch. Long way to go, and the tough Sunfield out in the left. One away.
Timmy.
And Flores had some big league time with the Yankees last year. Limited time, only 12 games, but still in all, he has been appeared in the major leagues. You have that experience.
I would imagine that goes into when they're discussing the invitation to spring training. That has to be part of the discussion, right?
Right.
We need you to play first. Are you willing to do that? So guys like Shane Peterson, and as far as the left-handed hitters go, and Ramon Flores in that mix. Chris Carter's going to be the everyday first baseman for the most part. Big right-handed power hitter, but when you want to make a move and you're in the National League, so double switches come up, you got to have versatile pieces.
And plus, he's not going to play 162 games. I don't think there aren't too many players that do that anymore. So you got to have somebody to be able to fill in.
It's proven to be a pretty good hitter, Flores. A slap hitter. Kind of guy you'd want to come off the bench in a tough spot. I think as the organization starts to rebuild and be remade, I know talking to Craig Counsell that there's a heavy emphasis on versatile players. They want to get defensive minded, start to rely more on a minor league system, start to have prospects that come through the minor league system that are defensive players to where you can save a lot of runs defensively. Counsell is a big believer in the DRS statistic, defensive runs saved. Here's Rivera. He's a slick fielding infielder, and 2 men are out.
You know, with the advent of the 12-man pitching staff, I mean, your bench has to be versatile.
Yes.
I mean, you can't be regimented and say, I only play second base, that's it. I mean, Ricky Weeks has even, moved into the outfield.
Sure.
I mean, he's working in the outfield. You can't have a bench without a number of those guys playing a number of different positions. First base, outfield, maybe throw them at third. But that's just the way the game is. I mean, every team has players that are versatile like that because you have so many pitchers taking up, 12 spots on that 25-man roster.
Well, you think about it. It's a 25-man roster. You carry 12 pitchers. And minus the 8 starting position players, you're talking about a 5-man bench. So you're looking at typically 1 outfielder, a 4th outfielder type.
And in the American League, it's a 4-man bench.
Right. Yeah.
With the DH.
And so you're looking at pinch hitters and guys who can come in and play multiple positions. You always have to have a bench player who can play shortstop. That's a must. And that's why guys like Yadiel Rivera certainly fits that bill, because your shortstop, very demanding position, and there aren't a lot of guys that can play shortstop effectively. Hernan Perez and Yadiel Rivera, those are a couple of guys that can play short.
Rivera is very good at all 3 of those positions. You could probably throw him over at first base too.
I've seen more emphasis put on the first baseman in Brewers spring training this year than I think I can ever remember in Brewers camp, but I'm not sure any major league teams are spending as much time with their first baseman as the Brewers are this spring.
They can save your infield a lot of errors. You remember last year Gerardo Parra played a lot of first base in spring training. Never played there in the regular season.
And a called strike 3. Good inning for Tillman. 1-2-3 retires the Rockies in order. That's a way to leave a mark.
They're up by a run over the Rockies, 7-6, and mark your calendars for Brewers Community Foundation's annual 5K Famous Racing Sausage Run walk set for Saturday, July 30th, and the Hitting for the Cycle benefit bike ride on Saturday, August 13th. Fundraising and registration details are available at brewers.com/BCF. The 5K Famous Racing Sausage Run walk.
Your choice. Crowd over 7,000 today at Maryvale to see this one. Brewers Rockies, bottom of the 8th inning, and the Brewers lead by a run. Hernan Perez will lead off for Milwaukee. We'll see Neuenhuis next.
And 9 appearances for Gurka for the Rockies last year. He also appeared in AA and AAA. A combined 35 appearances down in the minor leagues.
Deep left field. Perez gives it a look. It is hooking foul. Hernan hit it a long way. Hooked it. 0-2 the count on Perez. Now in the game at second base. And down he goes. Gurka strikes him out. One away in the 8th. Now the Brewers are going to be taking on the Cleveland Indians tomorrow from Goodyear. That'll be on the Brewers radio network with Mr. Baseball Bob Uecker. Along with, you know what? I take that back. Bob's not doing the game tomorrow.
No.
Jeff Levering is on the call tomorrow, and new broadcaster Lane Grindle. We welcome Lane. Look out. Up and in on new and ice. So that'll be the road radio team typically this year. Right. Lane and Jeff. Brewers radio network tomorrow. And of course, the legendary Kent Sommerfeld, producer and engineer.
He makes every game.
The workhorse.
He doesn't get days off.
Doesn't want them. He'd rather have the meal money. Brewers will have a radio game tomorrow. Webcast on Monday against the Dodgers. And then there is an off day on Tuesday. Players are looking forward to that. That'll be a complete team scheduled off day in the middle of the spring.
One of two.
The other off day is March 23rd if you're scoring at home. There'll be no games here on those 2 dates. Full count to Neuenhuis in a battle for that center field position. Probably between he and Broxton right now, the two favorites. Broxton had an RBI single that gave the Brewers the lead last inning.
And once again, you've got the experience in Neuenhuis. Although Broxton did appear with the Pirates at the end of the season, but you'd like to, if you had your choice, it was a coin toss, you'd certainly give it to the guy that's been to the big leagues before.
Center fielder with the Mets, Neuenhuis, and down he goes, a strikeout. Gurka's got some nasty stuff. Back-to-back Ks, 2 outs in the 8th inning. Who will try to close it out for the Brewers today in a spring training game? That's the big question. Jacob Barnes is currently loosening in the bullpen. And if I'm a betting man, he's going to get the chance. He's not just throwing for fun. I bet those guys love opportunities like these.
Oh, yeah.
Get to close a game.
Yeah.
A big league spring training game.
Just get out on the mound, regardless of the situation, right?
Second at bat for Manny Pena. Took over behind the plate for Lucroy. Even though we're in Arizona, this feels like every Rockies Brewers game at Coors Field we've ever done.
It does, doesn't it? It's okay.
It's the way it is.
Yeah.
There's a rhythm to a Rockies game. That is an extremely difficult place to play. And even for the home team.
And the Brewers haven't had a lot of success there. Tough place for the Brew Crew to win.
It's the biggest outfield in baseball. Although Doug Melvin was telling me they did the research on the GPS surfacing, and Kansas City actually has more ground,
right?
Which I was shocked.
Doesn't look it, does it?
No, it doesn't at all. Two and two. 2 men are out. Count goes full. Manny Pena. That is one job that is not available right now. The Brewer catching position. Lucroy, the starter, and Martin Maldonado, the backup. A called strike 3 to end the inning.
That's hard to do it anyway.
Jason Gurka strikes out the side. And we go to the 9th. Last call for the Rockies. See if the Brewers can close it out. Game summary. We head to the 9th inning. The Brewers are up 7-6. Keon Broxton with a go-ahead single in the 7th inning. That was with 2 outs. And the Brewers lead this one, trying to snap a losing streak of 5 here in the Cactus League after winning their first 4. A lot of fun today for the kids and plenty of sunshine. Beautiful day here. Temperatures in the upper 60s. And let's see if the Brewers can wrap this one up. It's going to be 25-year-old right-hander Jacob Barnes on the pitch.
Yeah, he was in Biloxi last year. 39 appearances, 6 of those were starts, and a .336 earned run average. Making his 3rd appearance down here for the Brewers in spring training.
Played his college ball at Florida Gulf Coast University in Fort Myers. Same university as Chris Sale of the White Sox. And by the way, they're back in the NCAA tournament, Florida Gulf Coast. Don't know if we'll see them at the first 4 round or not, partner. No, they're in. They're a conference champion. So Barnes will try to close it out. First batter is Rafael Noah, shows bunt, and there's a strike. Barnes, hard thrower, zips one in for strike 2.
Yeah, low to mid-90s with some sink on it, a curveball and a changeup to go with it. Needing 3 outs to break this Brewers losing streak.
Daniel Tillman worked a 3 up, 3 down 8th inning. Taylor Youngman started today. 3 good innings for him. 3 shutout innings with 4 strikeouts. Did not allow a hit. Walked a batter and hit a batter. In the center, base hit.
Yeah, look at that breaking pitch. Yeah, hung a breaking ball and leadoff base runner for Colorado.
That's the tying run.
Got ahead with the fastball. Tried to get him on a couple of curveballs. The last one ended up into center field.
And so that'll bring up Kyle Parker. You know, the pitcher for Colorado last inning, Jason Gurka, he struck out the side, and he now has 7 consecutive strikeouts in spring training games.
Got a funky left-handed delivery. Got a good fastball, the slider. He's able to get right-handers and left-handers. One of those guys you don't see very often, gives you trouble.
Rockies had to scratch their originally scheduled starter today, Tyler Anderson. Never good news when a guy you might be counting on, one of the top prospects and a former first rounder, he is out with an oblique injury. So Walt Weiss and pitching coach Steve Foster had to go to the relievers early today. John Gray started. Brewers have gotten some offense. Colin Walsh drove in 2 runs with a double. Eric Young Jr. had a single today and a run scored. Lucroy drove in at the time what was a go-ahead run in the 4th with an RBI single. Domingo Santana stays hot. He had a hit, a double, and an RBI, and 2 walks today. Peterson doubled and scored. Middlebrooks doubled in a run. Alex Presley had a base hit, and Arcia with 2 hits, including a home run. That at the time in the 6th inning gave the Brewers a lead. Swing at a miss. Barnes strikes him out.
He stayed with the hard stuff and was able to get him. He's got a good fastball. He's got some life on it. He got ahead, and then he went with a little slider. Didn't break a whole lot, but it was the speed that got the hitter.
So Barnes with 1 away. And a double play from ending this game. Noel Cuevas will bat for the Rockies. First at bat for him. He's at the plate in the 9th inning. Brewers lead 7-6. Snap throw to third. Nice block over there by Flores. I beg your pardon. Throw to first. Third base is on the other side, though.
Yeah.
Spring training.
Been there a while.
Throw to first. Cuevas facing Barnes, Jacob Barnes. I mean, the concentration level on the players and the names goes up significantly this time of the game. It's easy to forget where the bases are.
They got other stuff to worry about.
The first game we did together this year, you know, I hadn't called a baseball game in 5 months. Pitched right down the plate for a called strike, and I said, and a foul ball. Like that. That's a foul ball. Yes, it is a strike.
Yep.
Called strike.
Not able to check it. You're being too hard on yourself.
No, just it's time to get going now. It's time to get ready. I have 1 television game remaining.
I know. You're gonna have a lot of break. You're gonna have a couple of weeks to dial it in.
But I'll be busy doing other things.
That's what I mean. The focus.
Nothing like being at the old ballpark, though.
It is nice, isn't it?
2-1 to count. 1 man out. And that's in there. 2-2. Who you got coming with you, coming on board with you next week? Is that a Craig? Well, it's got to be a Craig Cashon, because Matt LePay is going to be in the tournament with the Badgers.
So Craig's going to come down. We only have a couple of games on television next week. I think it's Wednesday and Friday, is it?
Saw Jerry Augustine at the ballpark today. He was hanging out with us a little bit. 2-2 pitch. Oh, just missed.
Oh, he's got a webcast to do this week coming up.
Yes, he does. He and Lane Grindle. Augie and Grindle. I'll be dialing into that one. Full count. And a called strike 3. Man. Cuevas just watched it go by. Barnes just wearing out that inside corner. His second consecutive strikeout.
Got a good fastball. Wasn't supposed to be on the inside corner. You saw Pena sitting up on the outside corner and able to get the call. Jim Reynolds said, hey, it's getting late.
Pretty sure Troy Tulowitzki, that's going to be a ball.
Get up there and swing 'em, boys.
Here's Michael Benjamin now. Last hope for the Colorado Rockies. I do know Tulowitzki plays for the Blue Jays. Right. It's the only name I could think of offhand. First ball swinging. And that's going to do it. Michael Reed puts it away. The Brewers win. The Brewers win again. Snap a 5-game losing streak. We'll take a timeout. Back with Bill Schroeder's final thoughts right after this.